Alright then. In an attempt to resurrect the dead, Angie is killed. During a seance to search for answers, Tenko is killed. Are the two related? The third trial begins. Okay, I really wish you could speed that up. I got 3. Can't really buy anything with this. Buy this. Increase the speed of the reticle, effect the during non-stop debate, can't be combined with downshift. Hey, spacewalk. Reduces the shock when an obstacle is hit, effective during sack taxi. I don't really get hit by stuff, but I guess I'll buy it. I might... Oh, now I've got enough of this. And no wonder I kept on wondering why in the first 2 class trials I couldn't hold down the left mouse button to shoot a machine gun of silencers, and it's because I didn't have this equipped. I didn't realize. Where's the one I was gonna get? There, upshift. Right then. Let's go. Max difficulty class trial in session.
Now then, let's begin with the basic explanation of the class trial. During the trial, you'll present your arguments for who the culprit is, and vote for who done it. Vote correctly, and only the blackened will be punished. But if you pick the wrong person, I'll punish everyone besides the blackened, and that person will graduate from this academy. Also, refusing to vote will result in your death, so you better vote for someone. Now, smiles, everyone! It's showtime!
It's showtime!
Crazy awesome trial underway!
Sorry, everyone. I don't think I'm gonna be much help this time. Because of Monokuma's disruptions, I couldn't do a thorough investigation.
I can tell Monokuma is overcompensating to hide his self-consciousness.
Next time, spend less time fixing your hair and more time investigating, spaceman!
Shut up! I don't need to hear some comedy act from you two weirdos.
Who did it?
Oh, she's pissed.
Who killed Angie and Tenko?
Do not let your emotions hasten your judgment.
So, our other culprit might not be one of us here.
Hmm? What do you mean?
The transfer student. Maybe our resurrected transfer student dragged Angie and Tenko into the grave.
Stop it! Stop making stuff up!
Maybe it was Kaede, no wonder they had to stab her with a katana.
Say something, Shuichi. It'll be a mess if this keeps going on.
Is it even possible for a revived corpse to be the culprit? Well, in the interest of being thorough, I should clear things up here. Let's do this! Non-stop debate.
This crime was committed by the recently deceased.
Whoops.
They came back to life and killed 2 of our
Yeah! Machine gun!
So, ritual did work?
Who was resurrected?
Ow.
I wonder.
Angie did say she was gonna bring Rantaro back. Yes. Rantaro was resurrected.
No, he wasn't.
The culprit is the late Rantaro Amami!
Please, stop it!
Poor Kaiser. This isn't about believing in reviving the dead. I have to focus on their statements. Were all those statements correct?
This crime was committed by the recently deceased. They came back to life and killed 2 of our classmates.
They didn't.
No!
No!
So, ritual did work?
Oh, whoops. Like I said, the dead can't just get up, so argue against it. I did.
I was wrong!
But the effigies, obviously they're not walking
by the
around.
recently deceased. They came back to life and killed
Alright, you have to burn the book, but it isn't burnt.
So, ritual did work?
Yep, there it is.
That's wrong!
I don't think Angie's ritual succeeded. According to the Necronomicon Monokuma showed us,
Well, Monocubs. Everyone keeps on forgetting. Monokuma was out of business then. He was on vacation.
you have to burn the Necronomicon in the ritual.
After preparing the effigy, burn this Necronomicon to ash. Use caution. Be mindful of carbon monoxide poisoning. Sprinkle the ashes on the effigy and repeat the name of the deceased 3 times.
If Angie's ritual had succeeded, the book would have been gone.
So she must have been killed before the ritual was complete, since the book was still intact.
Then, Gonta think Rantaro probably not culprit.
Oh, I guess you're right.
Imagine if the book hadn't said that.
Duh. There's no way a dead person could resurrect.
It's like, oh, you have to close the book after the resurrection, and we found it closed in the floor. It would have made everyone scared.
Now hold on a second. I can't let that comment stand. Sure, everybody knows that you can't bring the dead back to life. But it's easy at the Ultimate Academy, as long as you use the Necronomicon.
What are you talking about? There's no way that's possible.
But it's true. I never lie about motives.
Daddy said so he can't be wrong. Raising...
Man, I can't believe you guys wasted such a perfectly good motive. You should have let me use it to bring Monodum back to life.
Wait, what?
Monodum is still alive, though.
I'm just kidding. I wouldn't waste a resurrection on Monodum's corpse.
Oh, he's gonna die this
so
time.
resurrecting the dead was actually possible this whole time?
Stop it, Samigi. Smurgy.
There's no way it's possible.
There's no way that could happen, idiots. Monokuma is trying to confuse us. Let's hurry up and find out who the Blackened is.
If our transfer student isn't the culprit, then blame falls to one of us.
Who did it?
Step aside, Half Pint. I'll handle this. I don't know about Tenko, but I'm pretty fucking sure Kyo murdered Angie.
What?
Don't play dumb with me, Creepshow. I already know what happened.
What? Bruce is the gold leaf katana, right?
The culprit used a katana to kill Angie. And it was found in Kyo's research lab.
Whoops.
Makes
Damn it.
you, Kyo, automatically suspicious.
But anyone could have taken that katana, you see.
So that rusty katana was the murder weapon. You were the only one who cared about that thing, Kyo.
I did not care about some katana.
Yeah, he didn't.
Just admit it, you shit-eating worm.
He cared more about the other stuff.
You went to the classroom, broke in, and murdered the fuck out of Angie! Booyah! I'm a fucking genius!
I don't know what to say here. Are you really the culprit? Does that story fit the facts in this case? Think about it from the beginning.
The culprit used a katana to kill Angie. And it was found in Kyo's research lab. Which makes you, Kyo, automatically suspicious. But anyone could have taken that katana, you see. Sure, that rusty katana was the murder weapon. You were the only one who cared about that thing, Kyo. I did not care about some katana. Just admit it, you shitty worm. You went to the classroom.
Oh, okay. The Kyo to Kyo, not Angie, still would have let him into a lab. Nah, he could have pinned her down and murdered her just like that.
Damn it. The culprit used a katana to kill Angie. And it was found in Kyo's research lab. Which makes you, Kyo, automatically suspicious.
But anyone could have taken...
Angie had locked herself in the Ultimate Artist lab since yesterday. Working on the ritual, she would not unlock the door unless someone from the student council asked her to.
Taking that katana.
So that rusty katana was the murder weapon.
Yeah, bless me.
I did not care about some katana. Just admit it, you shitty worm. You went to the classroom.
That's wrong!
It says broken, though. It doesn't say let them in. It says broken. So that's completely wrong.
No.
I should not have been able to refute that.
Angie's lab. Isn't that right, Tsumugi?
Yeah. Before Angie locked herself up in her research lab, she said she wasn't going to open up for anyone but student council members.
And Kyo is not a member. She wouldn't have opened the door for him.
Kyo couldn't have killed Angie even if he wanted to.
I had no desire to kill her in the first place.
So whoever killed Angie must have been one of the student council members, yeah?
I was doing a bit to lead you to the right answer. Can't believe you actually got it.
Oh, how clever.
You can just ignore her, Gonta.
The remaining student council members are Gonta, Kibo, Tsumugi, and Himiko.
Well, it can't be Himiko. She was besties with Angie. I trust their friendship. You guys do too,
Shut
right?
up. You pretended to be dead and then just fluked off.
Yeah, of course.
Can we trust their friendship so readily?
Huh.
Obviously. Let's believe in them.
Yeah, like we can believe in you.
That trims our list of suspects down to 3. Gonta, Tsumugi, and Kibo.
Yep. The culprit is one of those 3 people.
You mean one of those 2 people? 'Cause a robot ain't people, Jack!
I will let that remark slide. Anyway, aren't these accusations just a tad too hasty?
What else? The culprit should confess already. Gonta?
No, not Gonta. Gonta would never kill Angie.
Yeah, Gonta's
We're
a
gonna do
gentleman.
a multi
You
thing,
shouldn't
aren't we?
suspect either of us.
Hey, stick up for me too.
Gonta definitely not hurt anyone. Torture Gonta if you don't believe.
Torture might be a bit too far, but Gonta and I aren't the culprits.
And I'm not the culprit either.
Gonta
I'm not the
not
We're
culprit.
not the culprit.
Here we go. Mass panic debate.
We must consider other possibilities. Surely there must be suspects
Gentlemen,
outside the
not
student
betray
council.
student council.
And
That's utterly impossible.
A dead chick
Not just
can't be
anyone
the
can open
culprit.
that door.
Why?
Only student council members had access.
That's wrong.
Look, I don't know who the
I
culprit
didn't know
is,
robots told such boring lies.
but it's definitely not
Is
me.
that a robophobic remark?
There are several suspicious statements, but one is obviously inconsistent. I'll listen carefully, sort the statements in my head, and find the answer.
We must consider other
Gentlemen.
possibilities.
Sure, there must be something else.
Student
Betray
council.
student council.
That's utterly impossible.
Why?
Only student council members.
I heard it! No, it wasn't just student council members that could have opened that lab door.
What was it you said earlier about Kyo opening the door, Shuichi? Unless you're a student council member, you can't enter Angie's lab.
Right. I was referring to Kyo. He couldn't have done it, but you could have. Because I saw you open the classroom lock by flicking it.
Kakichi pulled out some thin needles and stuck them into the keyhole of the lock. Click, click, click. Clack. There, open sesame.
Oh, that happened? I totally forgot.
I totally forgot.
So you're going to pretend you don't remember, huh?
Quit glaring at me like that. Of course I remember. Yeah, I did it. I killed Angie.
I doubt it.
Wait, what? What did you just say?
I picked the lock to her lab, snuck into the room, and then wham! Killed Angie. The culprit was me, all along.
What?
What are you saying? Is this some kind of joke?
Nah, no joke. I thought that if I confessed, I could atone for my sins. And it helped. I feel So much better. Whew!
You are such a jerk. I don't even know what to think of you.
Wait, so Kokichi really is culprit?
No, he's lying. I think. Maybe?
He's lying. I'm certain of it.
No, definitely not a lie. I killed Angie. Shouldn't you guys believe the culprit when they confess?
Then let me ask you, culprit. How did you lock the room?
Huh? Well, it's the same as opening it. You pick the door closed from the outside?
No, that doesn't make sense.
Huh? What doesn't make sense? Can't you lock a door by picking it?
Maybe, but that's not how the culprit locked the room. They used a different method.
What different method? Yeah, Mumbles. Use your big boy voice and explain yourself.
There were 2 doors to the classroom, and the one locked last was...
The door the culprit locked last was the back door.
That's it! The back door. That's how they made this a locked room mystery.
The back door had a sliding lock, yes? How was it locked from the outside?
The culprit used a certain tool.
Tool the culprit used to lock the sliding door from the outside was... no, not this! God damn it. Fine. What am I looking for? Ooh! Ooh, I see you. I see you. Obtained in Monoguma. It's not over there. It's not over there. Oh. Oh, okay, whoops. Wasn't the sickle. Hate these things. Really? Okay, I thought it was going to be the sword, but I just can't figure out how. Because the gold leafing is on the back door lock. So it has to be the sword, but how?
The gold leaf katana that was stabbed into Kaede's effigy. The culprit used that to hit the knob of the sliding lock to lock the door.
So what? Did they, like, hold the door open a little bit, push Kaede, close the door, and just hope that the end of the sword was going to hit the lock? Is that what they did? Because that's completely bullshit.
So the gold leaf was on the sliding lock because...
Because when the katana hit the lock, some of the gold leaf rubbed off on it. The gold leaf on that katana did peel rather easily.
That evidence rings a bell. Specifically, a school bell.
Yeah, I know, it's a Danganronpa 1 reference.
Huh? Are you talking about a different school? What school?
Now, that doesn't matter anymore. Let's not dwell on the past.
Ooh, the gold leaf landed on the sliding lock when the katana touched it. So that means the culprit used the katana to move the sliding lock. But wait, how did they move it with the katana? And from outside Angie's lab?
The clue that might give us the answer is the layout of the area itself.
It's the only room where there's no proper roofs, it's just beams. So if they can find a way into the roofing area, they could drop down.
It was an odd setup after all. The katana stabbed into the effigy. The effigies hung upside down.
Angie didn't do that as part of the ritual?
No. Nowhere in the Necronomicon did it say you had to hang the effigies.
If it was not part of the ritual, then it must have been for a different purpose, right?
Different purpose, what could that have been? culprit somehow used this setup to lock the room. In that case, I need to know the reason behind every step of the setup. If I do that, the way the culprit locked the room should be clear. Psych taxi. I don't know. Honestly, this is the first time I've been this confused. Grand Theft Danganronpa. That's what I'm gonna call this. Who turned the handle of the sliding lock? What turned the handle of the sliding lock? The katana's hilt. Winner. Ow! Okay, the katana's hilt then, because I don't see how the hilt could have... Fine, I'll go with it. Maybe I'm overthinking this. How... Ah, damn it. What was done to the katana to turn the lock? Katana was stabbed into the effigy, sliding lock was tampered with. Stabbed into the effigy. See ya. How was the effigy manipulated to make the katana affect the lock? It was probably turned. That's why they needed it hanging, so it would like roll, like sway around and stuff. So it was hanged. Swinging it back and forth. Oh, spinning it. Spinning it.
That's it.
What's it?
The reason the culprit stuck the katana into the effigy was so that it would hit the sliding lock as the effigy spun.
Effigy spun?
Yeah, as I said, it's completely stupid. They'd have to make sure... Well, I guess, yeah, they would have put the katana in a place where if it was spinning, it would have hit the lock. But that's just ridiculous.
That's right. If you spun the effigy, the rope it was hanging from would twist. Then, if you let it go, the rope would unwind and the effigy would spin the other way.
I feel like that if you were to say this in a real trial, they'd go, What are you on? Should I arrest you for drugs? That's what I'm feeling like right now.
And of course, the katana would spin with it.
I see. So the culprit used the katana's counterspin to push the lock into place?
The culprit simply needed to spin the effigy's rope, and then swiftly leave. This would cause the spinning katana to hit the sliding lock. And thus was the back door of an empty classroom locked from the inside.
Yes, that's how Angie's lab was locked. By using the effigy with the katana.
A plan born from the heart of a sword traveling through the air to intercept us.
God damn it.
Oh, but could it have moved the slide lock so easily?
The sliding lock was pretty loose. A little push could move it. As long as the spinning katana hit the lock, it would have slid into position.
Even if the culprit failed the first couple times, they could keep trying until it locked.
Which is why the culprit chose to strike at nighttime, as to avoid detection.
Yes, since the student council prohibited anyone from walking around at nighttime.
Are you saying it's the student council's fault?
I didn't say that.
In any case, the culprit probably used the murder weapon for this trick. It had to have been the right length to hit the sliding lock from the effigy.
The culprit couldn't find a blade long enough in my lab, so they settled for the katana.
The other effigies were only hung up so we'd think it was some kind of ceremony. That way, we wouldn't notice the lock trick.
But Kokichi did say earlier that he could have picked the lock closed. I don't want to completely ignore that possibility. But I can't imagine the culprit would have done all this just for a distraction.
If that's the case, then Kokichi's confession earlier was actually...
Seriously? You fucking lied again?
Cough it up, Kokichi!
Yeah,
Man, you guys got me. Okay, I'm not the culprit.
we already knew that, don't worry.
You're telling the truth this time, right?
I want to say I'm lying, but I'm not.
Why did you say you were the culprit?
I wanted to lure the culprit out. If I claimed to be the culprit, then the real culprit would agree as well. You get me? And if they pressured me to confess, then that would have looked mighty suspicious. Sheesh. Darn it. It didn't go my way because Shuichi butted in on my plan.
You and your fucking lies! Go sit in the corner and play with yourself!
Okay, I'll start right now.
Alright, so who's the asshole who set up this locked room mystery?
You. I can't hold it up anymore.
What's the matter? You going soft on me now?
Who made the locked room mystery doesn't matter, since anyone could have done it. Don't you even understand something as basic as that, you filthy cum dumpster?
Cum dumpster! Finally! Someone finally called me a cum dumpster!
What should we talk about now?
Let's
We
just
must
go by
focus
that.
not on the locked room, but on who entered Angie's lab. Only one of the student council members or Kokichi could have gained entry. Therefore, the culprit must be among their number.
That leaves us with 4 suspects. Tsumugi, Gonta, Kibo, and Kokichi.
Don't forget Himiko. She's also a part of the student council. Doesn't matter if she was besties with Angie, she's still a suspect.
You said otherwise!
That contradicts what you said earlier, which I can...
It's fine.
Prove with a raw
It's just a
recording
waste of
function.
time.
Me? A suspect? I'd never kill Angie!
I mean,
So,
I would.
calling all suspects, what should we discuss next? I want to hear everyone's opinion. What would you say to get yourself off the suspect list?
Why are you trying to lead the debate? You're a suspect too.
Silence, outsider. Only the suspect rangers are allowed to speak.
Suspect rangers?
I agree. Those under suspicion should explain themselves thoroughly.
We might catch them with their pants down.
Oh boy.
Anyway, I want to ask the suspect rangers. What should we talk about? What should we say to get ourselves off the suspect list? Well, guys, I want to hear what you think.
That's sort of a difficult question, you know?
Gonta not smart enough to know answer to that.
Yes, it is difficult to formulate a logical response to that question.
Not articulate with words, huh? Don't you guys want to prove your innocence?
They don't trust you one bit, and I don't blame them. You're probably plotting.
Why did Tenko have to die?
Huh?
I want to know what happened to Angie too, but... Can we talk about Tenko's case now and not just Angie?
I got you exactly where I wanted, Himiko.
What do you mean?
The two victims could have been killed by two separate murderers, you know. So we need to find the first Blackened responsible for the first victim. We've got to figure out who killed Angie. Until we solve Angie's case, Tenko's case is meaningless. Did you suggest that to waste our time?
It's not meaningless!
Himiko.
Tenko's death was meaningless? How dare you! Poor Tenko! How could you do this to her? Himiko...
Himiko, stop it with your crappy lies.
Lies?
Everything you said is total BS. You didn't give two shits about Tenko when she was alive. But now you're like, oh no, poor Tenko, after she's dead. Come on, really?
Kokichi, enough!
No. It's okay. It's no surprise he'd think that. I know I ignored Tenko before. That's why I'm so upset now. I should have faced Tenko. Worked things out with her while she was still alive. And now, it's too late. I can't complain to her or thank her. It's too late.
Yeah, seriously! It's way too late to realize that now. Our only option is to face her death head on.
Face her death?
Himiko, I understand what you're going through. So I'm gonna help you out. Let's work together to find the truth. I'm not gonna let anyone say her death didn't matter.
Kaito. Alright. I'll put a silencing curse on whoever calls Tenko's death meaningless. The name of the curse is... Death Curse! I suppose being dead would silence someone pretty good.
Listen up! All you guys are gonna help out too.
I'm surprised Kai didn't get chills from that.
Abandoning someone who died and only thinking about your own survival. That's just as bad as a hit and run! I won't for—
Tenko was our friend. Gonta wanna know why she died too!
I already told you that's so unnecessary. We're getting...
No, even if it was a different culprit, we need to know how Tenko died. If we don't find out who killed her, we won't be able to work together. Not now, not ever. Even if this trial isn't for her, in order for us to survive, we need to get to the bottom of Tenko's death. Not just to survive this trial, but so we can keep going and live on!
Kaido.
Finally, you noticed. Jeez, you're so slow.
Huh? Did Kokichi want us to notice?
Don't listen to his crap. We haven't decided whether there were two different culprits yet.
Let us talk about Tenko's case then. Perhaps that will provide us a clue.
Yeah, maybe.
They're not wrong, but I don't mind going over Tenko's case. But that was an abrupt change of topic. Was that intentional?
So, what do we talk about first?
For now, let's see if we can narrow down the list of suspects.
Tancrotch probably got killed during the seance, so everyone there's suspicious.
Tancrotch!
The people who attended the seance. Shuichi, Himiko, Kokichi. Me, Kirk here. I was forced to go and then he threw me away. Oh, no. Right. Kurikio, Shurichi, Himiko, Kichi.
That's it! It was me, Kyo, Himiko, and Kokichi.
So those 4 are the culprits!
Oh, Himiko's still culprit?
Well, that's probably just a coinkydink. The most suspicious out of the 4 is really Kyo. He suggested the whole seance idea.
True, I may have suggested it, but I explained the procedure beforehand, yes? If we all knew of it before the murder, then we are all equally suspicious.
Well, I suppose, but...
In addition, the seance wasn't entirely in my control either. I was not the one who selected the room we performed it in. It was Himiko.
However, there are 3 empty rooms. Which one shall we use? The middle one. The middle one's room is always best for this stuff. Very well, I should begin the preparations at once.
Oh, right.
Also, we should not limit our suspects to only those who participated in the seance. The empty room had a point of entry from outside, you see.
Point of entry from outside he must be referring to. Is it there? I don't know what you're talking about. You're able to go outside from the investigation area.
Damn it!
Oh, right. Well, shit. Well, there goes that.
That's it.
I'm back here? What the fuck? Alright then, here we are. Floorboards under the tanker were loose. The culprit might have gone under the floor to enter. The tanker was to top them until in the entire seance. So the floorboards were used. There's another location that we could have entered and exited without using that area.
Damn it!
Really? Where? Here? Is it there? I don't know what you're talking about. Shut up.
I was wrong!
What the fuck? I'm confused. I am really confused right now. Where? How did the culprit get in from outside? I didn't mean to press enter. Am I gonna have to repeat all this again? Like, seriously? It's...
Oh no!
What? I thought the floorboards were the only way you could have went up. Oh my god. Okay, hole in the corner. You're fucking kidding me. This is what they're talking about, right? Huh. Well, fuck you too. Really? You don't know what I'm talking about?
I was wrong.
There was literally a piece of evidence about it.
There!
Thank you.
You're talking about under the floor, right?
Yeah, that's what I've been trying to say from the start. Just been clicking the wrong areas.
Yes, there's a crawl space under the floor a person can move through.
Which means someone must have to use the sickle to kill Tenko and then threw the sickle under the floorboards by using the hole, which is why the sickle's all in the corner, which means Kiyo is the one who probably did it because he was close to the hole.
There was also a hole that connected it to the neighboring room.
If the culprit used the hole, they could have entered and exited the seance room.
If we consider that possibility, then there is another suspect.
Another suspect? Who?
It's appearing before me. Whoa, I can see it clearly. The true identity of Tenko's killer.
Okay.
The culprit sneaked in during the seance by crawling under the floor.
But it was pitch black during the seance. How could they even see if they were under the floor?
Because it wasn't dark under the floor.
Yeah, it was.
You see, our villain had a light.
Light? You mean candle?
I mean, Kibo's flashlight function. Huh? Now hold on a second.
Kibo could have used that function to get under the floor and sneak into the empty room during the seance!
I said hold on a second!
He used his robot functions to commit the murders.
Hold on a second!
It's true that with a little light you can move around under the floor, but is that possible?
The culprit sneaked in during the seance.
By crawling under the floor.
During the seance.
Because it wasn't dark under the floor. You see, our villain had a light.
Light? You mean candle?
I mean, Kibo's flashlight function. Huh? Now hold on a second.
Kibo could have used that function to get under the floor.
Ah, damn it. Sure, it's cramped under the floor, but there's enough room for one person to move around. Okay. Especially if he had Kibo's flashlight.
The culprit sneaked in during the seance by crawling.
Yeah, hole in the
under
corner.
floor.
You would be able to see the light. Okay, I should use that one instead. Whoops.
Because it wasn't dark under the floor.
Here it was.
Our villain had a light.
Candle?
Kibo's flashlight function.
Oh, hold on a second. Kibo could have used that function to get under the floor.
Ah, what? Sure, it's... Oh, fuck you.
Oh no!
Okay, let's rethink about this.
The culprit sneaked
Third
in
class
during the
trial,
seance
everything's getting a little bit harder.
by crawling.
Caged child. In order to form the caged child, you need 5 people, including the spirit medium, a dark place with no light. First, draw the magic circle, passed down from the caged dog village. They must do this at the center. Following, place the iron cage over the spirit medium. Turn off the lights and make it complete dark, and your preparations will be complete. Sounds will commence once all 4 participants stand in the corners of the room. 4 participants will, not including the spirit medium, will sing. And say the name of the spirit. The spirit medium will reply with the voice of the spirit you have summoned. Maybe this one?
Under the floor. Because it was our villain had a light.
To get under the floor and sneak into the
I mean,
Kibo could have used that function to get under the floor.
Oh, really? What am I meant to lie?
oh no!
Am I meant to lie? I made a mistake, I need to think over it again.
The culprit sneaked in during the seance.
Let's hear what Shuichi has to say at the end, because he usually says something at the end and it helps. Actually, let's look at everything else. Mark Stone, the stone that was by Tenko's body during the seance. Tenko had been crouched over in the iron cage with her forehead on this stone. Loose floorboards. The floorboards right below Tenko. It was not loose before the seance. There was dried blood on the bottom part of the floorboard. Hole in the corner. Hole that was in the corner of the room the seance was held in. There was space under the floor so you can see what was dropped down there. Kibo's flashlight function. Function that mirrors out to Kibo, he can emit a blinding light. from his eyes.
You see, our villain had a light.
Yeah, I'm gonna try this one.
Candle?
I mean, function.
Kibo could have used that function to get under the floor.
Oh, okay, never mind.
The culprit sneaked in during by crawl.
It's true that with a little light you can move around under the floor, but is that possible?
The culprit sneaked in during the seance.
It's not possible. Loose floorboard right below Tenko was not loose before the seance. There was dried blood on the bottom part. Never perform the caged child.
By crawling under the floor.
But it was pitch black during the seance. How could they even see if they were under the floor?
Because it wasn't dark under the floor. You see, had a light.
Nah, that didn't work. If the room is dark as it was, one would need a light, no? Or you deny my entire theory, either way your evidence is lacking.
I was wrong!
Ah, god damn it.
The culprit sneaked in during the seance. By crawling under the floor.
But it was pitch black during the seance. How could they even see if they were under the floor?
Because it wasn't dark under the floor.
Shut up, you.
You see, our villain had a light.
Light? You mean candle?
I mean, Kibo's flashlight function. Huh? Now hold on a second.
Kibo could have used that function to get under the floor and sneak into the empty room during the seance!
I said hold on a second!
He used his robot functions to commit the murders.
Hold on a second!
Sure that with a little light you can move around on the floor. But is that possible?
Because it wasn't dark under the floor. You see, our villain...
Finally!
That's wrong!
They would have seen the light because there was a hole in the floor. That makes sense.
I don't think the culprit could have used a light while under the floor. There was a hole in the corner of the room. If a light were used, it would have leaked through and we would have seen it.
But when we did the seance, the room was definitely pitch black.
So a light was not shined under the floor, which means you cannot claim I am the culprit.
Jeez, here I thought this would be the case where the murder could only be done by a robot.
You have accused me of being the culprit more than once now, simply because I am a robot. My status as a robot does not mean I am capable of performing superhuman feats. My vision is somewhat poor, and I only possess average physical strength and intelligence.
All right, you made your point. God, now I feel sort of bad for you.
I neither want nor need your pity.
What?
Enough with the flashlight! It's way too bright!
It would have been difficult to move around under the floor in that pitch black darkness. Maybe the floor and the hole have nothing to do with this case.
Then why was floorboard under Tenko lined up funny? Going to think that was so culprit could stab Tenko from under floor.
Ooh, nice observation, Gonta. Are you finally getting used to the class trials?
Uh-huh. Thank you.
Don't say it like that. You're better off not being used to this kind of stuff.
Maybe they marked Tenko with glowing paint and looked for that. That'd let the culprit find her. Then they could stab her through the floorboards.
Boy, that sounds really familiar too. But I'm just gonna ignore it.
Danganronpa 2.
Her corpse didn't have any trace of glowing paint, though.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So then why was that floorboard loose?
Come on. It won't let me press anything. There it is.
The loose floorboard was the one under Tenko, right? If the culprit used it while she was still alive, she'd totally notice.
Who fucking cares? Fussing over that won't get us closer to the culprit!
We shouldn't dismiss this line of inquiry, however. Instead of butting our heads against this, how about we concentrate on another issue?
What other issue?
What other issue?
Perhaps first, we should figure out how and when exactly Tenko was killed.
When? So not during seance?
Tenko was in the metal cage for the whole seance, wasn't she? How could someone have gotten to her there?
Maybe the culprit killed her before she went under the metal cage.
That's not possible. She was alive at that point.
This is the point of no return, Tenko. After this point, you must not speak. The next time you open your mouth, it will be Angie speaking through you. Understood. I will not say a word until the seance is over.
Yes. She was unmistakably alive when the seance began.
That was right before we blew out the candles. But when the light came back...
The floorboard was removed at that point, so it's likely she was already dead then.
So she was killed when the room was dark?
But she was inside cage, right? Going to think it impossible to kill her then.
Then she wasn't killed when the room was dark. It was a different time.
A different time?
How the fuck should I know? You figure it out, shitheads.
I don't think it's possible.
Huh? Since Gonta said it was impossible, I'm proposing an alternate theory. Now hurry up and think! If you want to make my golden brain tingle, start circle jerking your limp dick brains!
Okay.
When Tenko got killed, it wasn't during the seance.
It could not have been done at any other time. She was under the cage the whole time. And she was dead when the cage was lifted.
What about moment cage was lifted?
Ooh, like that.
When cage lifted, culprit stabbed Tenko real fast. So fast, no one saw.
Oh my!
So who lifted the cage?
It was Himiko.
It was me.
Then obviously Himiko is the culprit!
There's no doubt!
Tenko not being killed during the seance? That might not be possible, but there's evidence for that.
When Tenko got killed, it wasn't during the seance.
It could not have been done at any other time.
On cage. Reaching Kikuchi places over Tenko and removed it. His blood was on the bottom of the cage. Yeah.
She was under the cage the whole time. And she was dead when the cage was lifted.
What about moment cage was lifted?
Ooh, like that.
When cage lifted, culprit stabbed Tenko real fast. So fast, no one saw.
Oh my!
So who lifted the cage?
It was me.
Then obviously Himiko is the culprit!
God damn you. If the culprit killed her when they opened the cage, then only Himiko could have done it.
When Tenko got killed,
White sheet. The sheet that was over the cage during the seance is very thick and cannot be seen through. There's blood on the back around the middle of the sheet, but there's no hole in the fabric. Kyo was the one who placed the sheet over the cage and removed it off the cage.
it wasn't during the seance.
It could not have been done at any other time. cage the whole time. She was dead when the cage was lifted.
Oops.
What about moment cage was
Lifted!
Damn it!
Like that. Go got killed.
It wasn't during the seance.
It could not have been done at any other time.
She was under the cage the whole time.
She was dead.
And the cage was lifted.
What about moment cage was lifted?
That's wrong!
There's blood on the sheet.
No, it wasn't possible to kill her the moment the cage was lifted. Because the inside of the white cloth had Tenko's blood on it. That cloth was removed before the cage was lifted. If Tenko was stabbed then, there wouldn't be blood on the cloth.
What? But how could my golden brain be wrong when it felt so right?
I think you were feeling right for the wrong reasons.
The only possibility is that Tenko was killed during the seance.
I got your remodel right.
Oh, come on! Me, you!
No, it's still wrong to think that Tenko was killed during the seance.
What?
I'm gonna prove it right now. My golden brain is gonna go all out!
I think something else is gonna go all out. Rebuttal Showdown. Truth Blade. So, what do you...
Tenko died after the seance. It happened when the sheet was lifted. That was the moment the culprit chose to stab the fuck out of Tenko through the cage! They stuck the thin blade through the gaps of the... And that clean white sheet got stained blood red!
But the weapon was a sickle. Only the blade could have fit through the gaps.
The blade's all you need. If you stick the blade through a gap in the cage, it'd be long enough to reach Tenko. Sitting in there with her neck all exposed. She wasn't that far from the cage's gaps. In which case, the person who lifted the sheet is the culprit. And that's none other than Kyo!
There has to be a hole in Miyu's logic somewhere. All I have to do is counter the evidence that will counter Miyu's
The
claims.
blade's all you need. If you stick the blade through a gap in the cage, it'd be long enough to reach Tenko. Sitting in there with her neck all exposed.
I'll cut through your words. Wait just a minute. Tenko wasn't sitting down inside the cage. She was bent over with her forehead against the marker stone, and the cage itself was about 3 feet tall. The sickle's blade was too short to reach Tenko while she was in that position.
Then I messed up again? How could this happen? I am so embarrassed.
No worries, Miyu. Everyone already knows you're an embarrassment to the human race.
Yeah, no worries.
Oh, Gonzo.
How embarrassing!
If Shuichi is right, then it's impossible for Tenko to have been killed through the cage.
She couldn't have been killed during the seance since she was in the cage, right?
If she was killed then, the cloth over the cage would have been pierced.
Not during the seance or from below the floor. Then it's impossible, isn't it?
Yeah, for a living person.
Huh?
What if Angie's spirit killed Tenko?
What are you talking about? That's not possible.
He's just trying to piss you off, Kaito.
You don't know that. Some things are impossible for a human, but not for a spirit.
Well, you can keep thinking that if you want, fine.
Don't say stupid stuff like that! Screw spirits!
Stop that now.
Angie's spirit killed Tenko? Why?
Himiko?
Why why would Angie's spirit kill Tenko?
Maybe because Tenko betrayed the school council. Perfect answer all the time.
What if Tenko killed Angie, and then Angie's spirit came back for revenge?
Like I said, that's impossible! Spirits can't be culprits!
Then explain how the culprit killed Tenko under these impossible circumstances.
Well,
See? You can't explain, can you? Only a spirit could have done that!
I know! What if the culprit was hiding inside the cage? If they were in there, they could have stabbed Tenko during the seance.
No. If there was someone else in the cage, we would have noticed.
I agree with Kai.
Wait, really? Hang on. The culprit could have been inside the cage. She's probably going to list this loose floorboard, right? Like maybe they got underneath and the floorboard was loose so they could get inside the cage.
Nonsense. There was no space in the cage for the culprit to hide.
Maybe the culprit wouldn't need to hide in the first place.
What?
Also, the culprit could have killed her in the cage at any time. I think you know what I'm getting at, right?
They she's referring to the people at the seance. Wrong. Who could have killed Tenko inside the cage at any time? I don't get you. Really narrow-minded. I'm not sure what the question is. Like, people who could have killed them. There's 4 people. Who could have killed Tenko from inside the cage? You were there?
Damn it!
Okay. You? No. Who? God damn! Don't ask me to answer a question that you're not going to explain. Tenko herself. She committed suicide. Maybe. No. Maybe? Fine. Oh, okay. Well, okay.
I believe Maki is referring to Tenko herself.
What did you say? Are you saying Tenko is the culprit?
I'm like, okay, who? Oh, they're gonna list it as a suicide, sure. It's gonna be Sakura Ogami all over again.
Suicide?
If she committed suicide, it would explain a lot of things we couldn't figure out. She volunteered to be in the cage, and then stabbed herself during the seance. It wouldn't matter how dark the room was.
But the sickle she was stabbed with was under the floor, right? If Tenko had stabbed herself, wouldn't the sickle still be inside the cage?
Oh my god. Mew actually said something smart.
Perhaps that explains why the floorboard was removed.
So what did Miura say? Tenko had stabbed herself, wouldn't the sickle still be inside the cage?
After stabbing herself with the sickle, she threw it underneath the floor.
I don't think she'd be able to. Being stabbed by the neck would be a very painful thing.
So she took off the floorboard to get rid of the sickle?
Yes, that makes sense to Gonta.
Well, it doesn't make sense to me. There's no reason for Tenko to commit suicide.
Maybe I wasn't too far off with the theory I had earlier. You know, about Tenko killing Angie.
Yeah?
Because Tenko and Angie were fighting for your attention, right?
Hey Angie, when did you brainwash Himiko?
Tenko's pent-up frustration led her to commit such an atrocity. Her conscience couldn't handle it anymore, so she decided to end her own life.
What?
But if she was gonna kill herself, why do it during the seance?
She wanted to hide the truth of her suicide.
Really? Why?
There could only be one reason to hide it in a killing game, right? It's to take us down with her.
Take us down?
She wanted us to pick the wrong answer during the class trial, so she could bring us all down. She wanted us to die with her. Okay, well, she probably just wanted Himiko to die with her, but still.
But what are you saying? Tenko wasn't like that. She told me.
Keep your chin up and live life facing forward. Survive with me and everyone else.
What if all of that was just a lie?
A lie?
Wait, we should believe Tenko's last words.
Come on, mouse. I hate my
The
keyboard.
terror of class trials is that you shouldn't believe everything said.
Himiko, you said that Tenko would never do anything like that. But how can you be so sure? Did you guys actually know each other? People keep all sorts of secrets. Like Maki. She hid the fact that she's a cold-blooded killer. Is it wise of us to trust other people wholeheartedly in this kind of situation?
Jeez, you're such a naive dude.
Naive?
We're all just people, you know? Of course we're gonna have some secrets. What matters is whether there's any malice behind them.
People can lie about how malicious their hidden secrets really are.
Well, duh. It's impossible to know for sure what others are thinking. That's why it all comes down to whether or not you believe in yourself. If you get betrayed, it's not their fault. It's your fault for believing in them. That's why I believed in Maki Roll, because I wanted to believe in her.
Just because you're acting all cool doesn't mean you get to skip training.
Hey, come on. Don't you think you're being a little too strict?
Well, we come from different backgrounds. So for now, let's agree to disagree. No one's ever called me naive before. And from Kaito? Seriously?
You deserve it.
Whether or not I believe, my heart can't reach Tenko anymore. But I want to believe in her. She wouldn't commit suicide. She wouldn't try to take us down. That's what I want to believe.
Me too. Gonta no can believe Tenko commits suicide.
But if Tenko did commit suicide...
If you insist we believe in Tenko, then provide a reason to do so.
Proper reason.
All right, I'll give you a reason.
Is there a reason?
Yes, there is. Will you trust... If it turns out I'm wrong, you can blame me all you like. But for now, I need you to trust in my detective work.
I don't believe Tenko would kill herself because of what she said. Okay, everyone, I'll see you guys after the seance. She said see you guys after. I doubt she had a sudden change of heart. Just because we don't know how she was killed doesn't mean that it was suicide. She shouldn't be satisfied with that. If we keep thinking, we'll find the truth. And that means we have to believe in Tenko. I'll make them all believe. Intermission? Oh no, non-stop debate. Tenko's last moments.
So far, suicide seems to be the best explanation.
Her plan was to take us down with her.
Tenko died instantly.
So she hid her true intentions.
Tenko's not that kind of person.
Okay, let's read up on that. Tenko died in a crouched position. The injury on the back of her neck was deep, but probably not enough to kill her immediately.
But if Tenko did commit suicide, it would explain how she died during the seance.
She could have secretly brought the sickle and then stabbed herself with it.
Finally, with the last of her strength,
Oh, whoops.
she threw the sickle underneath the floor. All the pieces fit.
Everyone thinks that Tenko committed suicide, but only because they're latching onto the easiest answer. To get out of this, I need to make them think that suicide theory won't work.
So far, suicide
Okay, I
seems
know
to
how
be
to do this.
Her plan was to take us down with her. So she hid her true intentions.
Finally, with the last of her strength,
I'll reveal the truth.
I'm gonna lie.
Tenko couldn't have thrown the sickle under the floor because she died instantly.
instantly,
Her death might have not been instant, but she couldn't have gone far before she bled out. Maki knows, she just needs to trust me.
I'm certain of it. My investigation determined that she died instantly.
What's your opinion, Maki? I'd like to hear from someone who specializes in murder.
Maki.
You're right. I completely forgot about that important detail. Tenko died instantly.
What?
As an assassin, I specialize in killing my targets swiftly. I have no doubt that Tenko was killed immediately.
Words of a true killer. Pretty sure we can believe everything she said.
Thank you, Maki.
How could you forget that, Maki roll? You better apologize to Shuichi.
Excuse me?
It's okay, Kaito, really. No apology necessary. Anyway, Tenko died so suddenly that she couldn't have gotten rid of the sickle. Knowing that, the theory that she killed herself just doesn't fit, correct?
Just like I thought. Tenko wouldn't commit suicide.
Thank goodness, Himiko.
Which means someone definitely killed Tenko during the seance.
Her suicide was considered because we could not determine how she was killed.
No! There must have been a way! We're gonna figure it out!
Did any of the participants witness anything peculiar during the seance? If you know something, please speak up.
Not a bad idea. We should remember what happened at the seance. Let me try to remember. I'm sure there's something. I need some kind of clue that will help me solve the mystery. Sound during
seance. Did anything seem out of the ordinary during the seance?
There is something that bothers me. The fact that the seance failed. The ritual was perfect, and yet it failed.
Oh, wait. No, that's an agreement. No, it wasn't perfect. What was I thinking?
Oh no!
Did anything seem out of the ordinary during the seance?
There is something that bothers me. The fact that the seance failed. The ritual was perfect, and yet
no, it wasn't.
How utterly strange.
Now that I think about it, while we were all singing the song,
yeah,
I heard something fall.
I'm more concerned about how dark it got in there. I mean, it was totally pitch black. My job was to relight the candles. Moving along the walls was seriously tough.
Did anything seem out of the ordinary during the seance? There is something that bothers me. The fact that the seance failed. The ritual was perfect, and yet it failed. How utterly strange. Now that I think about it.
While in the song, I heard something fall, I think.
I'm more concerned about
Seriously?
how dark in there.
I mean, it was totally pitch black. My job was to relight the candles. Moving along the walls was seriously tough. Did anything seem out of the ordinary during the seance? There is something that bothers me. The fact that the seance failed. The ritual was perfect, and yet it failed. How utterly strange. Now that I think about it. While we were all singing the song,
I heard something.
There we go.
I agree. Himiko, you think that something fell because of that sound you heard, right?
It sounded like something heavy fell down and hit the floor really hard.
Probably the sickle.
What could have fallen down?
Fallen down? There wasn't anything on the ceiling that could have fallen down, right?
Am I wrong? I thought something fell, but
The sound was pretty loud. It did seem like something hit the floorboards.
A loud sound like something hit the floorboards. Maybe that sound had something to do with the other thing that happened in the dark. Sound during Marcus Stone, Tenko's loose floorboards, dry blood, crosspiece under the floorboard. And that has nothing to do with the sound during the seance. Nobody's gonna believe you anymore if you keep saying random things. They probably did that preemptively anyway. Like Kichi, skull under the floor, crosspiece under the thing, piece under the floor. A small amount of blood that was on the ground under the floor in the room the seance was held in was quite far from when Tenko's body was dripping. What caused the sound that was heard during the seance?
This is it!
Yep.
I think the floorboard coming off had something to do with that sound. That floorboard came loose at some point during the seance, right?
Would the floorboard have made such a loud sound, though?
It was the sound of an intense impact.
If the impact was that intense, then it could have loosened the floorboard.
But it's true, that would have had to be a strong impact to make that sound. Was it? What could it be possible?
Alright then, let's go with that. We all gotta put our heads together now.
Okay then, sure. So what could have caused the sound besides, like, loose? No. Dry
So what
blood
made
and...
the floorboard come loose?
Judging from the sound, there must have been considerable force.
Someone who participated in the seance. Maybe that person tore off the floorboard.
That wouldn't make such a loud crashing sound.
Maybe the wooden statue fell over.
But that statue was still on top of the cage.
Culprit hid under floor, then stood up with such might.
But we already said there was no one under the floor.
Someone must have stomped through the floorboard.
A floorboard that comes loose when you step on it is dangerous. God, it's like I'm the only one here who's staying on the ball.
You hardly have any experience with balls to say that, Mew.
Don't be stupid. Don't you know me and Balls are the best of friends?
Oh yeah, I agree with that. What would have made a strong enough impact to knock to the floor? But I think that maybe the person actually did stand up. Maybe that's why it came loose, because they stood up.
So what made the floorboard come loose?
Sound, there must have been considerable force.
Someone who participated in the seance.
But that statue
Hide under floor, then stood up with such might.
Oh, no. Culprit hit the head on that tough floorboard, they would be dead.
Oh no!
Really? That would be enough to kill them?
So what made the floorboard come loose?
Judging from the sound, there must have been considerable force.
Someone who participated in the seance.
Dried blood
Maybe
under the
that
floor.
person tore off the floorboard.
that wouldn't make such a loud crashing sound.
Maybe the wooden statue fell over.
But that statue was still on top of the cage.
Culprit hide under floor, then stood up with such might.
Wait, no, I didn't mean to do that.
Then stood up with such might.
Okay, it wasn't that either.
I was wrong!
Shut up.
So what come loose?
Judging from the sound, there must have been considerable force.
Someone who participated in the seance. Maybe that person tore.
Okay, it wasn't that either. Floorboard into darkness seems somewhat impossible. It would have been difficult to remove the heavy floorboard.
But that statue was still on top of the cage.
Culprit hide under floor.
They stood up with such might.
But we already said
There was no one under the floor.
Someone must have stomped through the
God damn it. Oh, good.
I agree.
There it is. It's always that little bit off. Missed it by that much.
Kokichi is right. The floorboard came loose because someone stomped on it.
But floorboards fit perfect. Going to make sure first time we go to empty room.
When we first saw the room, yes. But when I looked again during the investigation, One of the cross pieces supporting the floorboards was cut off. After examining the cut, I concluded that it must have been done deliberately.
Someone? You mean the culprit, right?
What did the culprit stand to gain by cutting the crosspiece?
That's the question. To solve this case, I need to think carefully about the crosspiece in the floorboard. Tenko's body was at one end of the loose floorboard, and the crosspiece that had been cut was on the other end. The supporter part was outside the cage, so it could have been stomped on. Well, only one of the crosspieces was cut, the other two were intact. One of them was right under Tenko. The other one was in the center, right about where the edge of the cage was. What was the culprit attempting to achieve by stomping on the floorboard? Think. Come on, think. I can't think of the exact word right now. Nope. Nope. Seesaw? Seesaw, got it. Nope. Seesaw. Nope. Seesaw effect.
That's right. The floorboard might have been used as a seesaw.
A seesaw?
Like, I can understand the word seesaw, but seesaw effect? I just don't realize, I don't know why they had to put the word effect in there.
The crosspiece at one end of the floorboard had been cut off. The other two crosspieces holding up that board were close to the cage. Meaning, if you were to apply force to the end of the floorboard with no crosspiece, the next crosspiece would act as a fulcrum to turn the floorboard into a lever. A lever capable of lifting up Tenko's entire body.
Her whole body lifted up?
Yeah, that sounds like a seesaw, all right. But why bother lifting Tenko's body?
So you could stab her neck easier.
They couldn't have killed Tenko like that. Unless they used the sickle.
That's exactly it. Using the seesaw trick, it was possible to kill Tenko with a sickle.
Huh? How?
In order for the culprit to kill Tenko with a seesaw trick, The placement of the sickle is the most important factor.
The floorboard seesaw, the cage, and the blood on the white fabric. What conclusion can I draw from this? There's only one place the sickle could have been that is consistent with the evidence. Top of the cage.
That's it! The sickle was at the top of the iron cage, with the blade facing down. The reason we didn't see it was because of the fabric covering the cage. Also, the wooden statue kept the blade in place. It's true that the sickle's handle was thick, which made the statue wobble, but the statue's weight kept it from falling over. Once everything was in place, if you stepped hard enough on the seesaw, Tenko's body would have shot upward and hit the blade on the top of the cage. She was bent over, meaning the sickle's blade would have connected with her neck.
The 6-inch sickle blade wasn't long enough to stab Tenko in her crouch position. But with the floorboard acting as a seesaw, it could compensate for the blade's length.
Bringing the victim to the sickle, rather than bringing the sickle to the victim. That's definitely an unorthodox idea.
It's crazy, but it would explain how Tenko got stabbed while she was in the cage.
So the sound we heard was the culprit stomping on the floorboard.
That impact make floorboard come loose.
But how did the sickle get to the hole? Because I'm starting to wonder, was the sickle stuck in the statue, or was it just held up by the statue? Because if it was held up by the statue and it was actually not connected to it properly, the killer could have just slid it off and then thrown it into the hole. But yeah.
Looks like we got ourselves a good old-fashioned seesaw homicide. Wait, what the hell's a seesaw homicide? That's fucking crazy!
The craziness is what really makes the killing game fun, you know? They can't get away with murder the normal way, so they gotta think outside the box. Kudos, culprit! You did a great job keeping me entertained.
Indeed. Well played, Himiko.
Yeah?
It was you, wasn't it? The one behind the seesaw homicide.
Huh? Why her?
Because she's the only one capable of carrying out this plan.
The only one? Why's that?
Because this seesaw homicide required its location to be prepared beforehand.
By cutting the crosspiece beneath the floorboard, you mean?
Ah, right, because Himiko recommended the middle room.
Then the culprit would need to lure their victim into the prepared room. That is why you chose that room for the seance. Is it not, Himiko?
However, there are only 3 empty rooms. Which one shall we use? The middle one. The middle one's the best for stuff like this.
Oh yeah! Himiko was the one who chose the site for the seance!
Then again, what if every single floorboard that was in the same position was broken in every single room?
She likely found out about my plans for the seance somehow.
You were quite vocal about the seance, Kyo. You even had instructions for it in your lab.
Our culprit, Himiko, prepared her seesaw trap ahead of time. Then she waited for me to host the seance, and suggested the middle room. She led us all into holding the seance right where she wanted it. Then, she killed Tenko, all according to plan.
That's a lie, right? Himiko did such a thing?
In the end, Himiko, who Tenko cherished and loved, tragically killed her.
Wait! We don't know that, right? He's wrong, right, Himiko? Himiko would never kill Tenko, right?
Kill Tenko? I killed Tenko?
Himiko?
What's wrong, Himiko?
Is it true that using the middle room was Himiko's idea? But does that mean that Himiko really killed Tenko? Would something like that really happen? Something so cruel. Intermission. It's about time. Let's save.
Well now.
Looks like we've reached the intermission segment, which means it's time for our Guess the Victim quiz. A victim quiz, not a culprit quiz? The only victims are the people who still watching this drawn-out boring crap. Why are you being such a downer all of a sudden?
It's okay.
It is okay. I am sure everyone is happy. How do you know? They could be skipping this entire conversation for all you know. I can't take it. I can't take it anymore. I'm the real victim here. Me! Why are you getting so upset? If anything, I'm the real victim. I gotta put up with all this nonsense all the time. What's the right answer? That's the right answer. Monodam! Why, he hasn't said anything. Exactly, because there are no victims. Yep, even if you're killed in this killing game, you're a winner. Because then everyone mourns you, and you get tons of posthumous popularity.
Daddy!
Oh, Daddy, you don't need to reveal those kind of behind-the-scene details.
All right.
Dying makes you more popular. Then we get to die soon, too. Don't say that. You're probably going to die this execution.
This is my impression of a spooky, scary ghost.
God, are you serious?
Ah! I'm fine with real ghosts, but impressions of them are too scary!
Logic does not compute.
Huh? Did you hear something?
No, I didn't hear anything.
You know what else is scary? Sweet buns. Yep, tasty, tasty sweet buns. So round, so sweet, so delicious.
That doesn't sound scary at all.
I'm scared too. Scared of losing my friends.
Did you hear something?
No, I didn't hear anything.
What?
Answer us, Himiko. You chose the middle room to lure us into your trap, did you not? Then you used that trap to kill Tenko, yes?
Well, Donkey Lips, did you kill that twat?
Wait, must be some mistake. No way Himiko is culprit.
Then she needs to defend herself. Otherwise, this debate is deadlocked.
I don't care if you gotta use magic to do it, but say something already.
Are you even listening?
No,
What?
I don't care anymore. I'm too tough. Angie died. Tenko died. Why did I have to survive? And now, you're all saying I killed them? I just don't care anymore.
Himiko.
Do whatever. If you want to vote for me, then just go ahead.
The game gets really blah if the suspect isn't into it.
That's not the problem.
Damn it. Don't tell me you've given up.
Himiko, don't give up.
Don't you understand? My life is riding on the outcome of this trial!
Just shut up. I told you, I'm too tired. It's all just a big pain. I can't put up with it anymore.
What are you talking about? If you give up here...
You needn't worry. Himiko was the one who chose that room. Therefore, she is unmistakably the culprit.
Impossible! Himiko would never kill Tenko! Himiko not that kind of person. Gonta can tell by Himiko's face.
Himiko's a little slow, so I don't think she's capable of handling a complicated...
I also think Himiko's not the culprit. Somehow.
Either way, we gotta look for more possibilities.
That does seem like rather a pointless quest.
No, it's not. We gotta be strong. Gotta keep thinking. Then we might find new truth. So no give up, Himiko!
Himiko, I know how you feel. I felt the same way after Kaede died. We can't give up. We survived. We can't give up for the sake of everyone who died.
Performing the seance in that room was Himiko's decision, was it not?
What if someone steered her into picking that room?
Of the 3 empty rooms, why did you select the middle one, Himiko? Because you laid your trap there.
Was trap only in that room? Other rooms may be trapped too.
Yeah, even if Himiko picked the room, someone else could have set that trap.
Your opinions are empty words.
If the culprit's plan was to make Himiko a suspect, they might have persuaded her to choose that room somehow. But how and what would they tell us?
Performing the seance in that room was Himiko's decision, was it not?
What if someone steered her into picking that room?
Of the 3 empty rooms, why did you select the middle one? Because you laid your trap there.
Was trap only in that room? Other rooms may be trapped too.
I agree.
It's just like Gonta said. Each room was the same. They were all trapped.
What? Is that true?
Kokichi will tell you.
I was way too careless. Wait, what are you talking about?
I guess there was no crosspiece supporting this floorboard, so I kind of stepped through. What bad luck.
While you were in the room next to the crime scene, you found a loose floorboard, right?
Well, I didn't find it so much as I stepped through it and tripped.
What? Hold on! There was also a loose floorboard in the next room?
So the culprit prepared a trap in all 3 empty rooms, not just the middle one.
If the culprit set traps in all the rooms, then they wouldn't need to select a room themselves.
So the real trap was for someone else to pick a room and take the blame.
I see. We were caught in the culprit's trap all along.
Especially you!
But now there's no reason to suspect Himiko. Right?
Himiko, do you remember what Tenko told you?
Keep your chin up and live life facing forward. Survive with me and everyone else. Please.
Live life facing forward. She said that to you, right? If you give up on living, you'd be betraying her memory. We're all trying to keep our promises to the dead. This trial, it's not just for our lives. It's for everyone who's died as well. That's why we can't give up. This is our responsibility. We live on.
You're right.
You bet I'm right.
That's right. If I gave up here, I wouldn't be able to face Angie or Tenko.
That's right. So let's do our best.
Alright. I'm not gonna say it's a pain anymore. I won't give up. I'll fight alongside everyone and survive.
Yes! Happy Himiko!
Do
Do not say everyone. After all, the Blackened is still among us.
Jeez, there you go. Killing the mood like usual. But damn, well said, Shuichi. That's what I'd expect from my soul, bro.
Your soul, bro?
So, bro?
Well, anyway, do you think the Blackened this time has some sort of superpower?
What are you talking about?
Well, as a self-proclaimed expert of stepping through floorboards, isn't it weird that no one stepped through that floorboard before the culprit used it?
Ah, that is a good point.
It must have been barrier magic.
No. There was a magic circle made over and no one was allowed to step there yet.
Well, that's one possibility, but I think it might have been something else.
Why didn't no one step on the floorboard until it was used for murder? That's it, that must be the reason.
This is it! It's because of the magic circle at the scene of...
Also, it's dark in here, so be sure to watch your step. If the magic circle is broken, not only will the seance fail, but it may also unleash a curse.
Before we began the seance, we were warned not to step on the circle. The floorboard in question was within the circle. That's why no one stepped on it.
So the magic circle's purpose was to keep us away from the whole trick.
That was part of the culprit's plans too?
That's right, if that's the case, then the culprit. There's no doubt in my mind they're the one who killed Tenko. Only one person had the opportunity and the motive. It was you.
It has to be you! Kyo. Was it you?
Whatever are you talking about?
I'm talking about Tenko's murder.
Kyo? Why do you suspect me?
Because you were the one who drew the magic circle. The circle kept us from discovering the seesaw trick, but that's not all it was for. In order to make the murder succeed, variables like Tenko's position and the placement of the cage needed to be defined. And those variables were defined by using the magic circle. In short, the circle itself was the most important tool.
Imagine if she'd walked a bit too far away from the stone and was like, "Whoa, I fell! Oh no, your murder has just failed, Kyo."
Knowing that, the person who drew the magic circle has to be the culprit.
Well, Kyo,
Answer already! Did you do it?
What is so funny?
I was just thinking. So this is how each Blackened must have felt. What an intriguing experience this is.
What? An intriguing experience?
But if I am the culprit as you claim, then I stomped on the floorboard, yes? So, do tell. How could I have stomped on the floorboard during that darkened seance?
I see. That is problem.
Unless that is made clear, you cannot be certain I am the culprit.
how can you be so calm when you're backed into a corner like this?
I will explain that in due time. Please answer my question first.
Cobra stepped on the exact floorboard even in the darkness. But how? How do they move around in total darkness? In a room that dark, it's hard to imagine the culprit found the right floorboard. Although even after I put out the candle, I could move along the wall in my hand.
Wait a minute. Maybe...
Did you figure it out?
That's it, the culprit didn't even have to see it all, they used... The Sixth Sense! Definitely! Hearing. Oh, no. I don't think there are any other sounds besides the song and the stomp.
I was wrong!
Yeah, I was thinking they may have used this singing to work out where the center of the room... That makes no sense. Smell. Nope. Guess not.
Damn it!
It's probably touch them. I don't know how touch makes sense, but I'll go with it.
The culprit used...
That way they could get around in the dark, like how I got to the candle.
Wasn't Seesaw in middle of room? Gonta doesn't think it was near wall.
So they probably used something besides the wall to move then, right?
Were there any other markers within reach?
Of course, the answer to that is there was nothing of the sort.
No, I'm sure there was something. A landmark they could have used to determine where the floorboard was. It must have been at that scene. Really? The culprit used what is a marker to position themselves in the dark. I really wish I could open my thingamajiggy right now. Nope. I don't know. Mark? No. Magic circle?
That's it! The magic circle. They used the magic circle.
I mean, I thought that'd be pretty obvious. I'm just trying to say that I thought it'd be pretty obvious that he used the magic circle. I thought they were literally saying, oh, how could he get to the floorboard without touching the magic circle or something? I thought they were trying to say that.
Remember? The magic circle was drawn with salt. The culprit used the salt's texture to feel their way through the dark.
I see. So Kyo traced the magic circle with his hands to get to the loose floorboard.
Oh, I see. You drew the magic circle with salt to use it as a guide.
An interesting thought. It is unfortunate that it is so wrong.
What?
Recall the document. What did the magic circle look like?
Based on the document, the magic circle wouldn't reach the corners of the room.
So what?
When the room was darkened, each of us was in a corner of the room, yes? The magic circle didn't reach us, so I could not have followed it, yes?
But you're talking about the magic circle in the document. That doesn't mean the circle you drew was the same.
No, I most definitely drew it exactly the same. I have it perfectly memorized.
So which is it? Is there any way to check?
Not anymore. The magic circle is a complete mess from being trampled on.
See, another piece of the puzzle. Drawing the circle with salt, all but guaranteed it would be temporary. The investigation itself would have gotten rid of the evidence. Clever.
Everyone, may I have your attention, please?
What a pain. We don't have any way to check it now.
Excuse me, everyone. May I have your attention, please?
Well, I guess there's no point in discussing the magic circle anymore.
Hey, may I have your attention?
He probably has like a vision thing.
Oh, I said cut that out! It's too bright!
I apologize. I just wanted everyone to listen to me.
About what?
I had Miu add another function to my body, in addition to the flashlight.
What the? No way! Did you really? Stop! You can't! I didn't install it for that
What?
Please, let me use it. With it, I might be able to save everyone.
Alright, so what is this function?
It's an image recording function.
Image recording?
Specifically, this function allows me to dispense a printout of my own memory. I'll give it a try. Ready?
From your mouth?
I also used magic like that before.
This printout is my memory of being kicked out of the seance. Please confirm that the floor of the empty room is clearly visible. Go on, take the picture and see for yourself.
Okay. Got it.
I reluctantly took the paper from Kibo's mouth. Okay, Mir, what was this meant to be for then? There were lines. This is the magic circle used for the
Well,
seance.
Shuichi, do you notice anything?
Notice anything? Yeah.
There! This helped a lot, Kibo. Without you, I never would have seen through Kyo's lie.
My lie.
You just said that you drew the magic circle exactly as it appears in the document. But that's a lie, isn't it? The magic circle at the scene had lines that stretched to the room's corners, which means that you would be able to find a floorboard from anywhere in the room.
So it was different from the document after all.
All because Himiko noticed. And because of Kibo, too.
Hey, where's my things? I'm the one who installed that function into Kibo.
Yeah. Probably for a different purpose that I do not want to think of.
Hey, yeah, what was it you were saying about its purpose?
Oh, to be honest, the purpose of that image recording function is to monitor my health. Specifically, I make Kibo use that function every day to analyze my turds.
What?
Your what? Why? Shit is a great indicator of intestinal health and gut bacteria quality. Plus, taking a satisfying shit does wonders for a woman's natural beauty, so...
What?
See? You're all grossed out! This is why I didn't want to tell you about my plan!
Quit talking about your poop. No one cares. Kyo, you killed Tenko, didn't you? Just...
So, Kyo, if you have any objections, you can...
Your deductions are fiction.
Oh, god damn it.
Well, since you've given me the option, I will most certainly object. To be honest, it's unimportant, but it may be an amusing diversion.
Unimportant?
Now I shall bear witness to your abilities, Shuichi. Do entertain me.
Here we go.
If you are going to claim I am the culprit, then what of the murder weapon? It was set up in the cage.
No, it wasn't.
The only people capable of that are Kokichi and Shuichi, who carried the cage. So suspicion should fall on them.
Kira's attitude is discerning, but first I need to counter his argument.
If you are going to claim I am the culprit, then what of the murder weapon? It was set up in the cage. The only people capable of that are Kokichi and Shuichi, who carried the cage. So suspicion should fall on them.
Here we go.
True, we could have placed the sickle there, but we could not have removed it later. Because we weren't the ones who lifted the cage. That was Himiko.
The only person who could have collected the sickle was Himiko. But the only people who could have placed the sickle are Kokichi and Shuichi. But in regards to that dilemma, I did not carry the cage, nor did I lift it. I had no opportunity to touch the sickle.
Yeah, you did.
I'll cut through your words. The only person who could have set up the sickle and retrieved it afterward is Kyo. That was done by covering the cage with a white cloth. You could have secretly placed the sickle when you draped the cloth. And retrieved it afterward when you removed the cloth. Then, while everyone was distracted, you discreetly dropped the sickle under the floor.
Wonderful! That's exactly correct.
Oh boy. Kyo. You got the best animation poses.
It's correct. Then why don't you give up already?
The trick I put so much work into is just wasted effort now. Alas.
So, it was you? You killed Tenko?
Let me guess. You'll never forgive me. Himiko, you must hate me so very much. Maybe you'd feel better if I was executed by Monokuma. But unfortunately for you, that won't happen. Because if you vote for me, every spotless, including myself, will die.
What you talking about, Kyo?
I killed Tenko. That is the truth. But it is meaningless in this class trial.
Meaningless?
You mean Monokuma's extra rule, right?
Ah, that's right. What happens to your votes if there are two blacking candidates? Well, I have an answer for that. It's first come, first served.
You see, I killed Tenko, but not Angie.
We'll see about that.
For us, Tenko's death is nothing but a trivial issue. Because the blackened in this trial is the culprit who killed Angie.
But what if Tenko killed Angie? And then you killed Tenko? There'd be no culprit to kill, which means we'd go straight to the U.
Trivial issue? No, that's gotta be a lie. You probably killed Angie too.
That is simply not possible. Recall that I was unable to enter Angie's lab.
Oh, only student council members and Kokichi could enter research lab.
How could I have possibly killed Angie when I couldn't even enter her lab?
We can figure that out. No one else could have done it besides you. If you're the one who killed Tenko, you gotta be the one who killed Angie.
I understand how you feel, Himiko, but maybe we can discuss this rationally and calmly. There is a non-zero possibility that Kyo is telling the truth.
So you understand how she feels. I see. Wait, robots can understand human feelings?
Of course I understand. I worked really hard to understand.
Hey, why are you getting all worked up, Kibo? Chill, dude.
That's enough! It's voting time! I'm gonna vote for him!
Voting for me will only help the one who murdered Angie.
Isn't Kyo culprit?
Of course I'm not. This case was an error on my part. Monokuma added that rule after both bodies were found, yes? How was I to know that the trial would only be for Angie's killer? Had I known, I certainly wouldn't have killed Tenko.
You're lying! You killed Tenko and Angie!
Now hold on. Jumping to conclusions here is dangerous.
We should talk it out more. This case might have juicy plot twists waiting to happen.
Nuts to that! Any way you look at this case, Kyo is obviously the culprit.
Yeah, there's sort of no other way to look at it.
No, it's too dangerous to vote before we arrive at a logical decision.
The culprit's one of you!
Split.
Wowee! This argument is getting intense! At times like this... The Ultimate Academy is proud to present its very own more phenomenal trial grounds!
Yippee! I've been waiting for this!
Why were you waiting for it?
We won't forgive Kiyo. I have to pin down the evidence, convince everyone. Here we go. So what exactly are we arguing about? Are we arguing whether Kiyo killed? Oh, we're arguing about this. Okay, that makes sense.
Kiyo killed Tenko and Angie!
I've got this! But he couldn't get into Angie's research lab.
He forced his way into Angie's research lab and killed her!
I've got this! But he couldn't get into Angie's research lab.
Okay, that's the right one.
The katana was found in Kiyo's lab.
Kibo! We don't know for certain that Kiyo killed Angie.
Oh, okay.
Kiyo did
Whoops.
kill Tenko, but he not blackened?
He was planning to use the new rule to protect himself all along.
Okay, rule.
We solved the mystery of Tenko's death. Can't we just vote now?
Kiyo killed Tenko and Angie!
When we aren't consistent, our position looks weak. We have to work together. If we vote now, we'll never know the truth. We have to defend that point.
Kiyo killed Tenko and Angie! He forced his way into Angie's research lab and killed her!
The katana was found in Kiyo's lab.
So first it'll be Kiyo, then it's Angie, then it's
So
Lab,
Kiyo did kill Tenko, but he not blackened?
and then Blackened.
He was planning to use the new rule to protect
Rule.
himself all along.
We solved the mystery of Tenko's death. Can't we just vote now?
And then Mystery.
Kiyo killed Tenko and...
Kibo! We don't know for certain that Kiyo killed Angie.
He forced his way into Angie's research lab and killed her!
Kiyo! Anyone could have entered my lab.
Yeah, it's the wrong one. What was I thinking? It was Angie!
Kiyo killed Tenko...
Kibo! We don't know for certain that Kiyo killed Angie.
He forced his way into Angie's...
I've got this! But he couldn't get into Angie's research lab.
The katana was found in Kiyo's lab.
Kiyo! Anyone could have entered my lab.
So Kiyo did kill Tenko, but he...
Kokichi! Perhaps there's a second blackened we need to find.
He was planning to use the new rule to protect...
Kiyo! Not possible. That rule was added after both murders.
We solved the mystery of Tenko's death. Can't we just vote now?
I've got this! Not yet. There's still another mystery to solve.
Crouch Bind.
This is our answer.
It would be a mistake to vote before we've completely solved Angie's murder. And there's still the mystery of Tenko's murder.
Mystery? What kind of mystery?
Well, Kiyo's confession derailed our conversation a bit. But we still have to go over one of the clues found at Tenko's crime scene. I believe it might even have something to do with Angie's murder.
Yeah, the dried blood. Yes, the outlying piece of evidence at Tenko's murder scene. So my guess is Angie ran in on Kiyo while he was taking off the floorboards, and he most likely killed Angie and then placed her in her room and made it look like a locked murder. But he was originally going to kill someone else because he was going to beg him to do a seance, which would make them use the floorboards. That's what I'm thinking is going on, at least. I think Angie wasn't part of his plan.
The blood stain found under the floor. Maki and I found it during the investigation. It was beneath the floorboard that the culprit stomped on.
Is that Tenko's blood?
That bloodstain was too far from Tenko's corpse to have been hers.
Also, the bloodstain was already dry when we found it. But the blood from Tenko's body hadn't even begun to dry yet.
Well, that's weird. Why was that bloodstain the only dry one?
The bloodstain under the floorboard was dry because it was there before Tenko was killed. Well, I mean, yeah, that's true as well. Blood was spilled before the seance when Tenko was killed. Very fast if it was the same as smaller. That makes no sense. I'm technically still right. Before the seance. Fine, it's technically right too.
The bloodstain wasn't from Tenko's murder. It was there before we started the seance.
Before the seance?
That should be. That should make it clear whose blood it was. It was Angie's.
That's it. That bloodstain wasn't Tenko's. It was Angie's.
Why was blood from Angie at the scene of Tenko's murder?
Yeah, wasn't Angie killed in her research lab?
Just because we found her body there doesn't mean she was killed there.
Ah, I guess that's possible.
If Angie wasn't killed in her lab, then that opens up a lot more possibilities. We assumed that only council members could have killed Angie since her body was in her lab. But if she died somewhere else, then we can't suspect just the council members anymore.
So the culprit didn't enter her lab, but waited for her to come out of it?
I'm not sure if the culprit waited for her, but they probably killed her when she came out. Well, I thought that was more likely from the start. So I went to places Angie might have gone, and checked all 3 empty rooms.
Places she might have gone? Why did you check the empty rooms then?
The empty rooms were the only places I could think of that Angie would go.
Did Angie have business in rooms?
It seems Kokichi's up to his usual misleading nonsense again.
I do lie a lot, and I could be lying right now too. But I'm pretty sure someone's panicking right now because of my lie.
Angie left her lab on her own and headed to the room where she was killed. Is Kokichi's statement true, or...?
The art research lab is not where Angie was killed. She was killed in the empty room instead!
She left her lab on her own?
But why would she go into an empty room? There shouldn't have been anything in there. Except for candles.
She probably wanted to do the,
She wanted a candle!
I agree!
I didn't actually mean to do that! But I'm glad I got that right!
That's it. Angie went to that room to get a candle.
Yeah, for kinky wax play!
No. Angie was gonna use it for the ritual. According to the Necronomicon, to resurrect the dead.
After preparing the effigy, burn this Necronomicon to ash. Use caution and be mindful of carbon monoxide poisoning.
Then, did she seek out a candle so she could burn the book?
That's right. There's nothing to start a fire with in Angie's lab. So she went to go get a candle from one of the empty rooms.
And probably stepped on one of the loose floorboards.
And that's when the culprit attacked her!
That's why there was dried blood underfloor.
Which means Angie was attacked in the same room the seance was held. Bravo, Himiko. Well done for choosing that room for the seance. If we hadn't done the seance in that room, then Tenko's murder would have been in another room. If that happened, no one would have discovered Angie's bloodstain under the floorboards.
That's right. Shuichi and I only checked under the floorboards where Tenko died.
Yep, it's all thanks to Himiko for choosing the same room as Angie. This must be a Tua's will. Or maybe the power of magic.
It's neither. I just picked one.
Hold on. You're all acting as though you've proven that as fact already. You claim Angie was murdered in the empty room. and then moved to the lab? Then how do you explain the large amount of blood in the lab? It may be possible to carry a body, but blood cannot be moved.
Because she was cut on her forehead, so most likely stabbed on her forehead or something. And then when she was brought back, she was stabbed in the neck to kill her, which would cause more blood.
I think she was still alive after the attack in the empty room. She was killed after she was carried to her lab.
That means the culprit attacked her twice. I have evidence of that. Relevance, do you have that? None, there was no evidence. It says there's a laceration! If she didn't die in the empty room, then why was she attacked twice? The culprit must have been a big bad meanie to do that. But it says there's a laceration. Fine, whatever. Forehead injury. Okay, why is it a separate thing?
The fatal wound was a cut to the back of her neck from a katana. But she also showed signs of blunt force trauma, and I think I know why. After Angie was knocked unconscious in the empty room, she was killed in her lab.
I see. So that puddle of blood is from the killing blow. Ha! It's all clear now. Angie was attacked in the empty room, carried to her lab, and it was there that the culprit finished her off.
All clear. This is all clear. What are you all talking about? All clear? What is all clear? What are you? All clear? What are you all? You what? What are? I will not fear. I will not.
What the hell?
Sweet Korekio, calm yourself.
I'm sorry. That called me. Oh boy. Okay, calming down. It's a go. It's fine. It's not like it's some kind of random alien. Sweet Korekio, calm yourself.
Their words are all hollow. There is no meaning to any of them.
What?
Teach these ignorant children a lesson.
Yes, you're right. Okay, I'll teach them.
Split personality much?
What the hell are you mumbling about? You're giving me the goddamn willies!
Not yet. Nothing is clear at all.
It's full of doubts, of mysteries, of a dense, impenetrable fog!
Yeah. Sure.
Nothing is clear at all!
Angie was attacked in the empty room first, and then carried into the research lab? Impossible! Impossible! That's nothing but a delusion! You intend to poison our minds with your delusions?
It's no delusion. Angie's 2 external wounds tell the story. After she was struck in the empty room, she was carried to the art research lab and then killed.
You say the culprit carried Angie's body? And not a single drop of blood fell? The hallway and empty room had no bloodstains.
Oh, whoops.
I was wrong! You say the culprit carried Angie's body? And not a single drop of blood fell? The hallway and empty room had no bloodstains. Even if you wipe them down later, there'd still be traces of evidence left behind. But there was no evidence anywhere, was there, Shuichi?
I'll cut through your words.
There was evidence left at the scene. The bloody tape under Angie's body.
What?
It was wrapped around her head to stop the bleeding while she was being carried.
Bloody tape? Gonta didn't notice at all.
It was under the body. It's most likely evidence the culprit should have gotten rid of. But since it was hidden, the culprit didn't notice and failed to dispose of it.
It must have fallen as the fatal blow was dealt, and ended up...
Must have been Atua who did that for us.
What? Atua? How long are you going to keep that up?
Now we know most of the mystery behind Angie's murder.
I'm convinced there's only one person who could have killed Angie.
You.
It has to be you! It's you, Kyo. You killed Angie.
What the fuck? So it's true!
Well, that was obvious. Such a boring, obvious answer.
I mean, yeah, that's what most of these class trials are.
You killed both of them. Why did you kill them?
In terms of pure logic, only one victim was necessary to win.
Why? Why you killed them both?
I think one of the murders was an accident.
An accident?
That's right. It wasn't part of the plan.
Huh? Which one?
The murder there was an accident. It was Angie's.
That's it! Angie's murder was an accident.
What? Tenko wasn't accident?
That's right. Kyo originally planned to kill someone with a seesaw trick. But while he was making preparations in the empty room,
Angie walked in.
so he decided to kill her in order to keep her from talking.
She just happened to walk in on the culprit setting up and was killed.
Then you should have just stopped there. Once he killed Angie, there was no reason for him to kill Tenko.
You only needed to kill one for this game. Killing two is pointless. If you get bonus points for killing more, then sure. Otherwise, it leaves more clues behind.
Why, Kyo? Why you killed two of our friends?
What on earth are you talking about? No, I'm not the culprit.
No, definitely not. No, you're not. You're shaking so much. I'm shaking the camera.
So, why is everyone looking at me like I am? Why? Why are they? Why is it? Calm yourself, Korekio.
Well, I mean, I think it's a boy, because if you look at the crotch, you can see, like, the bumps and stuff. If you're a girl, don't look. But if you're a guy, I think that's it.
Yes. You mustn't raise your voice. You mustn't stutter.
You mustn't lose composure. You mustn't become flustered. You mustn't waver.
Look at their horrid faces. This sorry lot is not worth agonizing over. You're right. Yeah, you're right.
There he goes again. What the hell's wrong with him?
It almost seems like he's talking with someone.
Yeah.
Someone? He's just talking to himself. And why the hell is he wearing lipstick?
That's what I'm wondering, honestly.
No matter how loudly you protest, this is a trivial matter. I will never acknowledge your allegations. Not a single one of them. For you see, there is no evidence that I killed Angie. No, I will not acknowledge it. I will only acknowledge facts, true events. I won't acknowledge fiction, mystery. I won't acknowledge your deductions or guess. Well said. Good job, Korekio. Yes, thanks.
Creeps me the fuck out!
Yeah, no evidence. There's no evidence that he killed Angie.
You're wrong. There is evidence.
Exactly.
What? You do realize bluffs like that won't work, yes?
The weapon that was used to knock Angie unconscious in the empty room. That weapon tells us the whole story, Kyo.
That's not possible. I think you may have misunderstood. Apologize. Come on, apologize. 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 Come on. Apologize. 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 Apologize.
Seriously, what the hell's happening?
I have no idea what's happening with Kyo, but I know what weapon he used on Angie. I have to prove it. Argument armament. Whoa!
I have nothing to admit. You are simply wrong. Yes, I'm not the culprit. So I have nothing to confess.
Okay, I have to get used to this again.
I have nothing to admit. You are simply wrong. Yes, I'm not the culprit. So I have nothing to confess. I have nothing to admit. Why must you force your delusions on us? Your logic. That's merely a delusion. Well said, Correcchio. To continue this debate is meaningless. Why must you force your delusions on us? Your logic. That's merely a delusion. Well said, Correcchio. To continue this debate is meaningless. Why must you force your delusions on us? I told you I am not the culprit. So why are you looking at me like that? You're all wrong, not me. Correcchio speaks the truth. Such a sorry lot. Apologize. 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 I
Damn it,
told you
I'm way
I am
behind.
not the culprit. So why are you looking at me like that? You're all wrong, not me. Correcchio speaks the truth. Such a sorry lot. Apologize. 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 I told you I am not the culprit. So why are you looking at me like that? You're all wrong, not me. Correcchio speaks the truth. Such a sorry lot. Apologize. 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 Apologize.
Damn it!
I told you I
It doesn't
am
let me
not the
see it.
culprit. So why are you looking at me like that? You're all wrong, not me. Correcchio speaks the truth. Such a sorry lot. Apologize. 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 I told you I am not the culprit. So why are you looking at me like that? You're all wrong, not me. Correcchio speaks the truth. Such a sorry lot. Apologize. 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 I told you I am not the culprit. So why are you looking at me like that?
God damn.
You have no proof that Correcchio is the killer.
Floorboard. Ah, damn it, I forgot my S and A keys are backwards. Okay.
You have no proof that Correcchio is the killer.
Oh, removed floorboard. Okay. Okay, removed floorboard.
You have no proof that Correcchio is the killer.
It ends here!
There we go. God damn.
Kyo hit Angie with the same floorboard used in the seesaw trick.
I see. And how do you know the floorboard was the murder weapon?
There was a small patch of dried blood on the underside of the floorboard.
Angie's blood?
Blood that spattered there when the culprit struck Angie with the board. But that's not the only evidence that she was hit with that floorboard. There's also the blood stain under the floor to consider. For that, the floorboard must not have been in place at the time of the attack.
Good point. Had the floorboard been in place, her blood wouldn't have splattered beneath it.
Kyo's earlier confession is further evidence that the floorboard was used.
How?
If the weapon used to hit Angie is the floorboard from the seesaw trick,
It means the culprit knew about the seesaw, so the same person killed Tenko and Angie. I believe that while Kyo was setting up the seesaw, he was holding the board when Angie walked in.
And it cold-cocked her with the floorboard!
all you can do now is accept it. You even confessed to Tenko's murder already.
That's true. This is the truth.
Looks like we're almost at the end. All right, Shuichi, I'll leave the finale to you. Bring down the house.
Ichi, please, put an end to this. For Angie and Tenko's sake. End this class trial.
I understand. I'll go over everything one more time. Kyo, I want you to confess. No, I will force you to confess.
Closing argument. Alright then. Who was the culprit with the saw in the empty room? So we got a picture of a small stock stone Himiko brought. We got removed the gold leaf katana. Got removed the floorboard. And we got hit the sliding lock. What weapon knocked Angie unconscious? This. What was compressing the injury on Angie's head? Nope. What weapon killed Angie? Whose effigy was stabbed with the katana? The handle of the spinning katana. When Angie's body was found, who unlocked the door? What object did Tenko rest on her forehead during the seance? What weapon did the culprit set up in the iron cage? Who besides Kokiji was responsible for distinguishing the flowers, the thingamajiggies? What's this other one we got? Hit the sliding lock. Oh. That one is for this. Alright, sickle placed to kill. The path made with salt and stuck with duct tape. Whose effigy was stabbed. When Angie's body was found, who unlocked the door. What weapon did the culprit set up in the cage? Well, how was the culprit able to move around? Cool, we got everything now. How did the magic circle get erased? When did the culprit approach the cage? Oh, whoops, wrong one. Stomp hard on the floorboard. Who else besides Thingamajiggy? When Angie's body was found, who unlocked the door? Whose effigy was stabbed? Stabbed Kaede effigy. Who was the culprit with the saw in the empty room?
This is the truth of the case! Let's look back at the first murder. It was late last night. The culprit was in the empty room on the 4th floor. The culprit was preparing the seance murder they had planned. To use the floorboard as a seesaw, they had to cut the crosspiece supporting it. The plan was to make the same preparations for all 3 empty rooms. This would divert suspicion away from the culprit and whoever picked a room. To cut the crosspieces, they were planning to cut the crosspieces in all 3 rooms. However, when the culprit was working on the middle room, the unexpected happened. Angie walked into that room and saw the culprit making their preparations. She needed some fire for the ritual and had gone to the room for a candle. At that point, the culprit had not finished the setup and was just cutting crosspieces. Angie might not have concluded that it was tied to some kind of murder plan, but now that any other person might have just given up, but not our culprit. The culprit took the floorboard they loosened and struck the unsuspecting Angie in the head. The culprit did not want to give up on their plan and had to improvise. They wrapped duct tape around Angie's injury to stop the bleeding. Then they picked up her unconscious body and carried her to a research lab. While she was unconscious, the culprit hurried to tie up this loose end. But because they were in a hurry, they made a crucial oversight. They didn't notice the duct tape had peeled off and was under Angie's body. Without that evidence, we may never have figured out the culprit's trick. Carrying the supplies they needed, the culprit returned to the ultimate art lab. Locked the front door from inside. And took out the katana they brought from their own lab. They then stabbed Angie in the back of the neck, finally killing her. Then, to further confuse us, the culprit attempted to make a locked room mystery. First, they used rope from the warehouse and hung 4 effigies upside down. There were 2 reasons for this: to overwhelm the room with an occult atmosphere, and the other was the key to locking the room. The culprit stuck the katana into Kaede's effigy near the rear entrance. And spun the effigy around to twist up the rope. After enough turns, the culprit let go and headed for the rear door. Once released, the effigy began spinning, and the gold leaf katana with it. The handle of the katana then hit the sliding lock, locking the door. A difficult trick, but remember that the lock was so loose it moved at the slightest touch. The culprit also would have had the opportunity to attempt it many times. Once complete, the door was locked, but the duct tape was left behind. Perhaps the culprit noticed it, but by that point, it was too late. The room was sealed. There was no way for them to get back inside. Then, this morning, we opened up the room and discovered Angie's body. But the culprit wasn't finished. They wanted one more murder. To do that, they manipulated us into performing this seance. Of the 3 empty rooms, the middle one was chosen for the seance. I was invited by Kokichi to take Kibo's place in the seance. Tenko volunteered to be the medium, but she never imagined it would get her killed. To perform the seance, the culprit claimed they needed something for Tenko. A small stone that Himiko had brought from the courtyard. Tenko, at the culprit's request, bowed her head until it was touching the stone. That position was instrumental in making sure the murder went as planned. Next, Kokichi and I placed the iron cage over Tenko, in the middle of the magic circle. The culprit then volunteered to drape the white cloth over the iron cage. We didn't realize it at the time, but that was a deliberate decision by the culprit. They needed to set up the murder weapon that was used to kill Tenko. While they were covering the cage with a cloth, they secretly placed the sickle. Finally, 4 of us placed the wooden statue on top of the cage. The culprit used the weight of the statue to keep the murder weapon in place. After the preparations were complete, we began the seance. In complete darkness, we each stood in one corner and sang the Cage Child song. When the song finished, the soul of the dead was supposed to enter the medium. But our culprit had another plan, to commit a murder in the darkness. Right after we started singing, the culprit began making their way toward Tenko. It would have been quite difficult to do in total darkness, but our culprit had a guide. They used the lines of the magic circle drawn with salt. The culprit felt for the salt and used it to guide them along. And when the culprit reached the center of the circle, they found the floorboard that had its crosspiece cut off the night before. Then lifted up their foot and stomped down hard on the floorboard. The floorboard lifted up like a seesaw and pushed Tenko's body up toward the ceiling of the cage. Tenko was stabbed in the back of the neck by the sickle on the top of the cage. She was killed right before our eyes, and we didn't even see it. After committing the crime, the culprit followed the salt back to their corner. Finished the ritual and had us light the candles. We followed the culprit's directions and removed the equipment used for the seance. And discovered Tenko's body. And while we were all focused on the body, the culprit picked up the sickle. and dropped it under the floor through the hole in the corner of the room. Ironically, the final step of the murder was unwittingly carried out by us. The culprit had planned the murder so that we would unintentionally destroy some evidence. That evidence was the magic circle that the culprit used to navigate in the dark. However, the culprit didn't know that Kibo had taken a picture. He really saved us. Without that, we wouldn't know what changes were made to the circle. But now we know for certain, and we know the culprit drew the magic circle. Korekio Shinguchi, the ultimate anthropologist. You're the culprit behind these murders.
Gotcha, mate.
That's where my detective work leads us. It all fits.
Sweet Korekio. There are times when it's necessary to admit defeat. Admit? Yeah. Okay.
So you finally admit you did it.
Unfortunately. Yes. Yes. It's unfortunate. My one regret, my only regret, was not being able to make 100 friends.
100 friends?
It was my dream to make 100 friends. Oh, it's so unfortunate! I was so close to 100!
What?
What are you talking about? I do not understand a word of this.
Who gives a fuck? Let's vote for this kooky bastard and be done with this already.
Okay, I'm wondering now. When he says friends, does he mean literal friends, or does he mean as in people he's killed? Because he says he was close. And that feels like something that would be brought out by murder. Like, for example, he kills people and he sees them as his friends because ghosts? I don't know. I'm just guessing.
Roger that! One voting time! Coming up!
The heart racing excitement as...
The heart racing excitement!
As the blackened and the spotless finally face off,
it's voting time!
Poor Monodam.
Now then, it seems the voting has finished. Let's see the result.
There we go.
Who'll be chosen as the blackened? Will you make the right choice or the dreadfully wrong one?
All rise. There we go. Interesting. So the debate... I can't check it. Damn it. I was gonna check. Wow! Seriously, correct again? Amazing! This is the third correct verdict in a row! If you manage to get 12 correct verdicts in a row, you'll proceed to the bonus round. How's that gonna last that long?
For now.
It's finally over.
No.
No, not yet. I haven't heard his answer yet. Here, why? Why did you kill Angie and Tenko?
Right!
Yeah, he no need to kill them both, no matter what motive he have.
Oh?
Motive?
Hey!
Did your motive have something to do with Transverse Jr. was resurrected? Even if it did, though, how did that trigger a murder?
Hey!
Don't tell me, were you actually scared of the resurrection ritual, Kaito?
Shut up!
Shut up, I was never scared! The resurrection ritual had nothing to do with it. Nothing to do with it? Because we're friends, I'll tell you. I never once believed in the ritual. I would never kill someone over such a silly thing as that.
What?
So it has nothing to do with the motive? Then why?
Yes.
For the one that I love.
There is someone that I love.
From the bottom of my heart, someone so dear and someone I long for.
I love her with all my heart. And she loves me with all her heart.
What? Okay, let me just understand this. Yeah, I've understood it for way too long.
We vowed an endless love to each other, forever bound by fate.
Is that why you're a split personality guy? Maybe the woman's like your girl or something? None can come between us. We are bound by an intense love.
No matter what anyone says.
Okay. Right, bragging about your perfect love life. Fuck you, some of us aren't that lucky. So to see this lover of yours, you had to escape.
Don't tell me.
That's why you killed Angie and Tenko, but why did you need to kill both? If you asked if I did that to escape this place, my answer would be no.
Wonderful.
Because I have no need to escape this place. The one I love is inside.
Wait!
Don't look at me, I'm not his lover.
Yeah.
Calm down, no one would want a disgusting shit stuff bitch like you.
There's Sploosh!
What?
Hey!
Kyo, who is it? Who's the person you love?
Hey.
Is it really one of us? When I say inside, I do not mean inside this academy.
You see.
I mean inside me.
Sister.
Yeah, the one I love lives inside me. My dearest sister.
Huh?
Sister?
Wait!
Don't look at me, I'm not his sister.
Right?
Well, duh, if you were his sister, he would have killed himself already.
Wait.
Ah! Your sister, but didn't you say she was your love?
Whatever is the matter?
It is not that difficult, my sister is my lover.
I loved her.
No physical connection up the top
she
left.
Loved me so deeply. The fact that we were siblings meant nothing to us.
Oh my god.
They called it forbidden love, but none could stop the love we shared. Oh, how I long for my sister's warmth. The only time I felt at peace was when I was enveloped in my sister's warmth. For my beloved
That is
sister.
why, for my beloved sister, I had to.
Always messing around.
You had to escape from me, right?
No.
No, I had to kill her for her.
Huh?
What?
Sister.
Sister was very sickly. She was always in and out of the hospital ever since she was a child. Because of that, she didn't have many friends. She always seemed so lonely.
However,
Even if I could be her little brother and her lover, I couldn't be her friend. So I thought I'd find her some friends. Friends for my dear deceased sister.
huh?
Deceased?
Do you understand?
My sister is now a ghost, so her friend should be ghosts too, right?
For my beloved sister.
For sister's sake, I've killed many, to send her 100 friends. They are all wonderful people, worthy of being sister's friends.
Huh?
What?
Incomprehensible.
This is too impossible to understand, too impossible.
Sister.
My sister is very happy.
Yes.
Yes, Korikyo, I'm very happy. Thanks to you, I am not lonely.
What?
Could it be that lipstick version of Kyo is?
I am Korekio's older sister.
Thank you for looking after my little brother.
What?
What the hell?
Yes.
After I lost my beloved sister, I went so distraught I nearly went mad. The sister came to save me.
I am pleased.
She visited me during one of my seances and stayed inside me.
Sister.
Now I can see her whenever I want. I'm never lonely.
Korekio.
That's wonderful, Korekio. You love me the impossible possible.
Are you serious?
Are you serious? Is this really a spirit?
I told you.
It's just delusional. What a sad girl who can't even believe in the power of love.
Ew.
Either way, he's totally out of his mind. I mean, he killed for a dead chick.
Well, you know.
You said he killed a lot of people, right? So it wasn't Just the two you killed here.
What was that?
What? Seems like he was already crazy before he got here.
Because?
You didn't kill to escape from here. That wasn't your purpose from the get-go. You just wanted to slaughter a bunch, huh?
Unacceptable.
Do not make me out to be some bloodthirsty, indiscriminate killer. I only kill girls who I think are worthy of being sisters' friends.
Huh?
Only girls? I see, so when we were deciding on who should be the medium... Before that, let's choose a spiritual medium. It would work best with a girl. You said it would work best with a girl. I spent my time evaluating all the girls here.
Wonderful.
And besides Maki and Miyu, they are all worthy. All worthy of being sisters' friends.
Yeah?
Oh, worthy?
Why you?
Hey, how come I'm not included? I mean, not like I care.
Then...
And the second victim could have been me. Tenko died in my place. Then I'll do it. I can't think of anyone but me that Angie's spirit should go in. Then no, I'll do it.
Excellent.
Himiko would have been great, but Tenko volunteering made me so happy. Her noble, earnest heart made her a perfect friend for my sister.
Wonderful.
She even infiltrated the student council to protect Himiko.
Huh?
Infiltrated? Really?
But...
How did you? It is obvious to me. I've studied many people. Yeah, she stood up against the darkness of the school all by herself. All for her beloved friend.
Beautiful.
I was so touched by that. Wonderful. She was a perfect friend for my sister. I can understand why you didn't like her, Himiko.
Well.
Oh, I was planning on having you become sister's friend too. Eventually.
No way!
What, you do all that for? Wow, you did all that just for a kill. For you to go that far, that was pretty impressive.
Well, yeah.
You were interested in the cage child just so you could use it to kill someone, right?
Let's see.
It interested me as the anthropologist, of course, but more than that.
For my beloved sister!
I wanted to kill for my sister. I cannot deny that overpowering feeling.
Are you okay?
Kaito, are you okay? You look kind of pale. Don't worry about it. Let's focus on Kyo right now. Allow me to explain, though. I did not plan on killing them both. I knew I would have plenty of chances after escaping this place.
However...
But Angie walked in on me preparing, and I ended up killing her a different way. So I figured I may as well kill someone else too. After all, it'd be a shame to just waste the seance trick I prepared.
What is that?
You're talking like you killed her just because you could. No, not just because I could. I was sending another friend to sister.
Correcchio.
Correcchio, you're such a thoughtful little brother, but it was bad to get greedy.
Dear.
You're right, because of that now I can't send them 100 friends to sister. Do you understand now? Those were the circumstances of Correcchio's crime. I do not understand. That is all too impossible for me to understand.
Why?
That's right, killing 2 friends for your dead sister.
But how?
That's wrong. That's so wrong. Oh, don't get so worked up. There's something I learned after sister's death.
Do not worry.
Death only changes a person's form. The soul lives as a ghost.
That's right.
That's right, even though I'm a ghost now, I'm always by Correcchio's side.
Sister.
Thank you, sister. I love you. Get it out already!
What was that?
I don't understand anything you're saying. Nothing makes sense. It's not fair. Why did Angie and Tenko have to die for something so unfair?
Well...
Because death's unfair! Yeah.
And another...
All deaths are unfair deaths. Why do you think news stations get such high ratings when they're reporting about death? Because everyone likes unfair deaths.
Maybe.
When you look at it like that, the whole killing game embodies that philosophy, right? Gifted high school students forced to play a killing game? Man, if people were watching this, they would get a kick out of it. If people were watching this...
Shut up!
Knock off that bullshit, only sick fucks would enjoy watching this. Oh, I guess I'm a sick fuck then.
You got me.
Hell yeah, if I wasn't in the killing game, I would have so much fun watching.
So then...
The nature of the killing game is just yet shrouded in mystery. But my role in it is over. I have finished my explanation to your friends.
Sister...
I think I should go and see her now. My beloved sister. I was unable to send her 100 friends, but at least I can see her again now.
Correcchio.
Great, alright, sweet Correcchio. Come to me.
Oh.
Looks like you're already prepared. Now then, let's get started!
It's
Punishment time!
Huh?
punishment time.
Sister.
My beloved sister, at long last. I'd finally get to see you again.
That's right.
Yes, from now on, no one will try to stop us. We can be together without having to hide our love. Wait, I can't accept this.
Therefore,
like I said, there's no such thing as a death that can be accepted.
from an anthropological point
Why
of
do you
view,
think so many different cultures have funeral rites? Why do you think rumors of ways to resurrect the dead never cease?
Yes.
The living must find a reason, however forced, to accept death when it happens. How you come to terms with death also determines how you live.
What was that?
What? That was the answer I reached. How about you? How will you live a life that faces death?
Now then,
I prepared a very special punishment for the ultimate anthropologist, Kurekio Shinguji!
I shall observe.
I will watch over you as a ghost. As your friend, I will watch over you.
That's right.
It won't be just me and Kurekio. All those who died will be watching. I'll be watching to see how you face the death of your friends.
Humanity.
I'll be watching forever and ever.
it's
Punishment time! Here we go. Cultural melting pot. Well then. That was... what? Monodam committed suicide though. No, Monodam, why?
How can this be?
What the? Just think my cute child would commit suicide. It's so cute. It's so freaking cute that he would kill himself because he couldn't get along. What? Monodam committed suicide. Had I known this would happen, I would have been nicer to him. The only reason Monodam obsessed over getting along was because everyone but me bullied him.
That's right.
Yes, the other Monocub drove him to suicide, but not me.
Hey.
Hey, who's Monodam? Oh, you already forgot? That's kind of scary.
Well now.
Well, looks like another class trial is wrapped up without incident, so... I'm gonna take back this Neuronomicon! Seems like a waste though, you guys sure you don't want to use it? You guys should have brought someone back to life and added them to your roster. Should have. How long are you gonna keep talking about that?
I told you.
Ignore him, the whole resurrection ritual is obviously a lie. He's just trying to shake us mentally to get us to panic.
What's the point?
I'm assuming you'll think another murder will happen if you do that, right? Who can say? What a waste. If none of them you were gonna use it, you should have let me have it. Then I could have resurrected one of my dead siblings. Which one? I don't know, they're all pretty terrible actually. Wait, did one of us die? I could have sworn it's been just the two of us this whole time.
Oh yeah.
It's too bad you missed your chance to raise the dead. That's what you get for doubting me. Too bad.
So long. Farewell.
It's just you two now. Even now he still talks about raising the dead.
Always messing around.
Man, they're stupid. What people believe in is up to them, but Living people shouldn't have suffered because of the dead.
Of course!
The living are more precious than the dead, no matter what. That's not something a coward like you should say. Shut up, leave me alone.
But
there's one thing this case taught me. I thought there was a guard watching over us, but there isn't after all, not in this academy. Yeah, you're right.
You're right.
Well, that's why we have to face together, right? Face it together. Our ultimate talents are the best weapons we have.
Gonta do his best.
Then Gonta do his best to keep everyone safe. Gonta want to protect everyone. But your talent is entomology. I don't want Shuichi to use his ultimate talent anymore. I'm getting sick of class trials.
You're right.
Yeah, you're right. Hey, your talent as an assassin is way more trouble. When are you gonna use that, huh?
Okay,
I'll work hard until everyone trusts my ultimate talent. Huh?
that's right.
It may not be possible now, but I'll put in effort so everyone can trust me. I won't run away anymore. I want to survive and escape this place with everyone. Maki. I see. I wonder how long that'll last. What if your true calling is a killer shows? Don't underestimate her. Maki rolls one of the sidekicks.
Got a minute?
I don't remember being your sidekick. Also, didn't I tell you to stop calling me Maki Roll? Oh, you guys are so close. This must be a powerful bond of friendship. But I would have preferred it to be happen sooner, especially not after losing 7 people. You're right. Only 9 people left now. Well, what you think? The dumbass can't do math. Can do basic math. That's right, 7 pieces of shit have been flushed away and only 9 remain.
actually,
By that calculation, doesn't that make you one of the pieces?
But
Just 9 of us.
you know.
Humans are like weeds, too numerous to count 7 of us dead. Doesn't mean much in the end.
Shit.
Thinks totally what the heartless robot is thinking, right? Right?
How rude.
No, I'm not thinking. I'm not thinking that. Your blatant robophobic is simply inexcusable.
But you know...
But hey, none of us gave up, right? I know we're all going to escape. I'm not going to rely on God, spirits, or the dead.
I believe in you.
Just you guys. I believe in all of you.
Okay.
Kaido.
Well, of course.
You're right. Those of us who remain can start over.
Hey.
What up, Keyboy? Needs to apologize to everyone for the whole student council thing. And there's only one kind of apology that I'm willing to
How
accept.
exciting!
Yank your head off and smash it on the ground with all your strength. Got it?
No way.
I've never heard of such an intense form of apology. Seems like everything is settled for now, even though we're missing her.
You alright?
Himiko, you okay? Anything Gonta can do to help, you can tell Gonta.
Hey.
I think we should let her have some space for now. That might be best for her.
Okay.
I remember how I felt.
Oh.
Oh, Gonta understand.
You're so dumb.
God, Himiko's such a liar.
Huh? Because I'm a liar.
Personally, I don't think lies are exactly the bad thing. Let's face it, we wouldn't have any free will if the world was comprised with just truth. But even then, I don't think it's good to lie to yourself, you know?
right?
What are you saying? Think about Himiko's feelings a little bit.
Nuh-uh.
I only said that because I thought about it.
Because?
Himiko's been lying to herself about her own feelings, so she's been holding back.
Hey!
Hey, what are you repressing? Why are you trying so hard to hold back? What? Hold back? Expressing your feelings is perfectly natural. You shouldn't feel ashamed at all. So if you feel like crying while you're talking to Angie, go ahead and cry your eyes out. You'll feel better when you do. Well, I mean, laughing makes you feel better too. And vent your anger onto something you can really cheer you up. Train your heart by crying, laughing, and venting your anger. Tenko, Angie, I'm so lonely. I'm so lonely without you two. But I can't survive. I still can't go the way you are. I'm lonely. I'm so lonely without the both of you. Himiko.
Damn it.
Himiko cried for a long time. She cried as if she was releasing all the emotion she had bottled up inside. Before we knew it, as if lured by her doing so, we began crying. The tears we shed, I can't even describe it. When we were crying about what we have done, what we had been through, and what was to come. Sadness, hatred, frustration, discord, anger, love, tears filled with emotion. But at the very least, they weren't tears of submission. They were tears to push forward. After a while, Himiko finally calmed down. However,
she hard to carry, Gonta?
No, she fine.
She's sleeping very peacefully. I have told you many times that I do not use oil as my fuel source.
I skipped a line accidentally. I'm sorry for that. Let me just check on that. Koichi said she's all tuckered out after crying. Robots sleep well after leaking their oils too, right?
But wow, that really surprised me. She passed out as soon as she stopped crying.
Yeah, but she looks so peaceful sleeping like that.
She probably felt better after letting it all out, don't you think?
Yeah, I hope so.
Then Gonta carry Himiko to her room.
Make sure you'll need that focus if you want to feel her little mosquito bites poking ya!
There's no way he'd do such a thing. Gonta is a gentleman after all.
While we were heading back to the dorms, I suddenly noticed Kaito had stopped in his tracks. Kaito, what's wrong? Oh, nothing. I just wanted to get some night air. Don't worry about me. Go on ahead.
Huh?
Are you sure?
Well...
Anyway, don't do something like this again, okay? If you dislike scary things, then you should have said so earlier. I thought you were sick. Oh, you worried about me? Yeah, worried about your stupidity. Huh, still haven't warmed up to me, huh?
But
maybe not, but I feel like the walls we had up are coming down a little, you know? Perhaps those walls were our enemies. It seems like she doesn't want to wait anymore.
Got it.
Yeah, because of me.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe, but you sound like you're bragging, Kaito. Huh. Well, like I said, I'm gonna get some air before I go back. You can go on ahead.
Okay.
Sure, got it. See you later.
Got it.
Yeah, see you tomorrow. After our goodbyes, I returned to my dorm room. I didn't notice what was going on with Kaito. What?
Damn it. I don't have time to be dying. I still haven't gone into space yet.
What?
Damn it. No way am I gonna die here. No way.
What? Chapter 3, Transfer Student from Beyond the Grave. And I am so confused right now. Graveyard Slot. Clear Chapter 3. Poor Monodam. Mysterious Mask as a present. Cool. Well, I will continue Chapter 4 tomorrow. So otherwise, I will see you guys then. See ya!